Alright, hello, how are you getting on? This time last year I uploaded a video called 100 Days of Stardew Valley on easy mode. This is still the most popular video on my channel, which got me thinking, what if I do it again, but better? That is exactly what this playthrough is. I will be playing through not 100 days, but 112 days, aka an entire year. The goal here is to achieve perfection. That's it. We either do that or we fail this challenge. There are a few things I need to cover before we actually get into the playthrough. The short version is easy mode is not an official mode in the game, as in you can't do it without using mods. I wanted to start off with that one because I know it is bad news for some people who don't have access to these mods. I start with Iridium Tools, the Iridium Fishing Rod, the Tractor from the Tractor mod, both backpack upgrades, and Elliot's Pencil. I will also be using the Automate mod. Basically what this does is it takes items from a chest, puts them into a machine, and puts the item produced by that machine back into the chest. I do have the Shop Overhaul mod installed, which adds more items to the various shops in Pelican Town, but I don't know if I will actually use it. That is something that will be decided during spring. Finally, I will be starting on the first day of spring in year 2 so I can get access to all of the cooking recipes by the end of winter. And I will be able to meet Kent and get him to maximum friendship. Basically, this makes it possible for us to actually achieve perfection in 112 days. That basically covers everything. I will be going into more detail in regards to most of these things right after this, but if you would like to skip ahead to the actual gameplay, then feel free to go to the time shown on the screen now. Alright, let's get started with preparing for the playthrough. The first step is to use the CJB items menu mod to give us Iridium Tools and the Iridium Fishing Rod. And Elliot's Pencil, of course. This doesn't actually help us at all, I just kinda added it in for the meme. The next step is to use the CJB Cheats menu mod to give us enough gold to purchase the 2 backpack upgrades. In regards to the tractor, I don't need to get Robin to build it for us, I can just press the backspace key and it will appear beside me. Here are the settings I will be using for the tractor just in case anybody is interested. I was having problems with Willie's shop the first few times I tried to get everything set up. It seems like if you skip straight to year 2, you will be locked out of his shop. So to get around this, I head to Willie's and watch the cutscene where he gives us the fishing rod. Now his shop is open. The final step is to use the Cheats menu to set the date to the final day of winter in year 1. When we wake up tomorrow, it will be the first day of spring in year 2. And that covers everything I think, so let's get started. Day 1 begins with a visit from Kent. He introduces himself to us, but more importantly, he adds himself to the list of villagers we can give gifts to. Marnie drops by next, accompanied by a dog. She wants to know if we will adopt the dog. The day I reject her offer is the day I realize I am no longer capable of having emotions. Of course, I adopt the dog. I lovingly name it Cheese in honor of the world-famous cheese expert James May, also known for his time on a show called Top Gear. But his work in the world of cheese is more important in my opinion. I grab the box of parsnip seeds Mayor Lewis oh so kindly left for us and get to work on clearing the farm. Surprisingly enough, I don't use the tractor immediately. No, you see, I want to be able to say that I at least planted something without using the tractor. Granted, I am using Iridium Tools, so that isn't exactly something to brag about, but look, it's nearly Christmas, alright? So, if you all let me have this one small victory, then I will consider it a collective present from all of you to me. Do we have a deal? I use the tractor to chop down some trees and I make a chest where I deposit the goods I've acquired along with some tools. Because we are starting in year 2, we have some mail to read. The first letter notifies us that the cost of raw materials at Robin and Clint's shops have increased. That is not exactly the best news for us to get on our first day, but we have the tractor, so I think we'll be okay in this area. Next up is a load of gibberish, quite frankly, from the Georgia Corporation. Long story short, the mine is now open. That's it, that's the entire letter, that's all they should have said. I watch a cutscene where Lewis shows us the community center. Once a hive of hustle and or bustle, it is now but a mere reminder of what the town once was. If only somebody could repair the community center, maybe a sense of solidarity could be brought back to the residents of Pelican Town once again. We shall return to the community center later and see what we can do. The special orders board has been built in the town center. Just in case anybody does not know what this is, it's a board, and you can use it to accept special orders. I visit the bulletin board, not to be confused with the aforementioned special orders board, where I see that Marnie is looking to receive a flounder. I'm going to accept this quest because I want to help Marnie. Okay, no, it's actually because completing quests gives us friendship points for the villager we help. Alright, no, I'm lying. It's really because we get money for completing these quests. And to quote CM Punk, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. At the special orders board, not to be confused with the bulletin board, Robin has 2 special orders for us. I choose her order to collect 1,000 pieces of stone in 1 week. There are a couple of reasons for this. Number 1, the reward for completing this special order is a crafting recipe for a stone chest. Number 2, we get to keep the stone we gather. And number 3, the tractor will make it laughably easy to complete this one. I head to the mines where Marilyn gives us the rusty sword. I head into the mines and magically pull the tractor out of my pocket. I am immediately reminded of why I had so much fun during the original easy mode playthrough. It is so incredibly satisfying breaking rocks this way. It's almost like going up to a vending machine that dispenses dopamine every single time you press the button. And the best part about it? It's free. Another fantastic benefit of the tractor is the effect it has on floors that are full of monsters. Normally going through one of these floors with the rusty sword takes all of the neurons in my body away and replaces them with sad face emojis. But the tractor trivializes this whole process and turns those sad faces into happy faces. Not only are we collecting a ton of stone, we're also getting copper ore, geodes, coal and various gems. I open a chest on floor 20 and receive the steel smallsword. This is a very nice upgrade. I almost feel bad for the monsters we will encounter now that I'm equipped with this sword. One of the monsters I defeat drops an ancient seed. At this point, one of the slimes could drag me off the tractor, steal it and use it to destroy my house, and I would not mind at all. I would still be way too happy about getting the ancient seed to even care about that. I make it to floor 40 at around 8 PM. The goal is to reach floor 80 by the end of the day. I'm sure other people could make it to floor 120, aka the bottom of the mines, by the end of the first day with the tractor, but I'm not good enough to do that. That reminds me actually, a YouTuber and streamer called Habu made a 100 days video where they started on day 1 of year 2 and achieved perfection on the final day of year 2. I would highly recommend checking that video out if you get the chance. Not only is it interesting and entertaining, but it's also very impressive that Habu managed to do that. I will have the link to that video in the description of this one. I obtain the bone sword from a skeleton, which increases our power even more. I managed to make it to floor 79, but unfortunately I passed out before I can make it to floor 80. I missed out on my goal by 1 single floor. You know what? I'm happy with that. I think that's pretty good, all things considered. I managed to level up my mining and combat skills a bit today too. Clint pays us a visit on the morning of day 2. He gives us the crafting recipe for the furnace. I make 10 furnaces, place them down beside my house, place a chest beside them, and toss my coal, copper, and iron ores into the chest. Like I said, I am using the automate mod, so the furnaces will smelt the ores by themselves. Robin sends us the crafting recipe for the stone chest as a way of rewarding us for completing her challenge to collect 1,000 pieces of stone. I don't think she knows I used a tractor to do this, and I would like to keep it that way. I would be so upset if she took the crafting recipe away from me after finding out I used a bit of a scallywag method to obtain the stone. I head to the beach where I do a bit of fishing. I catch a flounder and give it to Marnie to complete the quest she gave us. I buy a deluxe speed grow, donate some items to the museum, and collect the 3 rewards available to me. An ancient seed, the crafting recipe for ancient seeds, and 9 cauliflower seeds. I go into Clint's shop, throw my items into a chest, and ask him to break open the various geodes I obtained yesterday. I donate the items I receive from this to the museum, then I return to the general store to buy 1 of each spring seed that I don't have yet. Just to clarify, we can buy garlic seeds and deluxe speed grow because we started in year 2. I plant my seeds, then I return to the mines to continue our mission to reach floor 120. Right now, I'm not too concerned with collecting things like gold ore and breaking every rock. I just want to get through the mines as fast as I can. I receive the Obsidian Edge Sword on floor 90, followed by a Star Drop on floor 100. While the boost it gives to our maximum energy is very nice, the only thing that will actually require us to use energy is fishing because of a beautiful vehicle known as the tractor. At around 1 AM, I uncover a ladder and make it down to the final floor. I obtain the Skull Key. This key is used to open the door to the Skull Caverns, an area we will hopefully reach in the very near future. We need to defeat 10 green slimes to gain access to Marland's shop, so I spend the short remainder of the night working on this. I reach level 5 in mining and I choose the perk that gives us extra ores. Mother has decided to send us 500 gold on day 3. What an absolutely marvelous gift to receive. I am feeling tremendously lazy today, so I decide to use the tractor to water my seeds. Next, I decide to do a bit of landscaping on the farm. And by landscaping, I mean I completely destroyed every tree and stone on the farm. If there is one thing I cannot stand, it is feeling like my farm is cluttered. I simply do not like the vibe that it produces. Also, chopping down trees gives you foraging XP, so this was a win-win. Here is a look at Robin's shop with the shop overhaul mod installed. Like I said in the intro, I'm not going to buy anything that is added by this mod yet. I will wait and see how spring goes before I make a decision on what to do. I do, however, ask Robin to add a silo to the farm. This way, when I get rid of the grass on my farm, it will add hay to the silo. Also, look at Cheese sleeping by the furnaces. He's such a sleepy boy. I do a little foraging run and already we're getting gold star daffodils. These will be excellent gifts for the villagers. Clint would like us to bring him 35 copper ores. We get to keep the ores after he inspects them, which is very good for us. The general store is closed on Wednesdays. Thank you for inconveniencing me, sir. I talk to Elliot on the beach and pick up some clams. I make my way to the forest where I use the tractor to decimate the local tree population. The log that blocks the entrance to the secret woods has been removed, so we now have access to this area too. I genuinely cannot even begin to describe how satisfying this is. And, like I said, we also get foraging XP for doing this, as well as things like wood, mixed seeds, and fiber. I make sure to replant some trees after my escapades. I also plant some tree seeds on the farm. I want to make sure I have a steady supply of wood throughout the entire year. I plant a rice shoot beside the little pond and toss a few items into the shipping bin. I'm going to be making a very conscious effort to ship every item as soon as possible. It's off to the mines for the rest of the night where I utilize my trusty tractor to get the copper ore Clint asked for. I've got a little bit of time left at the end of the night, so I quickly plant the mixed seeds I have. I reach level 5 in foraging, so I choose the perk that gives us a chance to get 2 of any forage item we pick up. Mr. William would like us to catch 3 carp on day 4. That's not a bad quest at all, I will happily accept that one. It is Kent's birthday, so I give him a gold star daffodil. You know what? Kenny. I will now be referring to Kent as Kenny. For no reason other than Kent reminds me of Kenny from the Walking Dead games. I present the copper ore to Clint, completing his quest. I have been very productive so far. I am feeling pretty proud of myself, I must say. I buy as many potato seeds as I can, then I spend the rest of the day fishing. Some bubbles pop up, which is very fortunate because bubbles make fish appear quicker, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really know the whole bubbles lore, if I'm being honest. I don't know how these work. Day 5 begins with the harvesting of parsnips. While I may not be the biggest parsnip fan in the world, carrots are infinitely superior in my humble opinion. I still hold them in high regard as they were the first crop I ever harvested in this beautiful little game. The rest of the day is spent fishing. It is raining, which means we have the opportunity to get catfish and shad. I want to get both for the fishing collection of course, but I am primarily focusing on catfish as they sell for a pretty penny. I make a scarecrow on day 6 and plop it down in front of the ancient seed I planted. Not only will this ensure the safety of the seed, it also prevents a scenario in which I have to throw hands with a crow who has decided that my ancient seed would make for a tasty snack. Now that the silo has been built, I can safely convert the grass on the farm to hay. William wants us to catch 4 anchovy. As much as it pains me to do this, I'm going to pass on this quest. I have big plans for the very near future, and they do not involve fishing. They involve the mines. I spend the rest of the day in this location, collecting gold ore, gems, and overall just working on increasing my mining skill. I watch the Queen of Sauce TV show on day 7 and learn how to make pizza. Also, I forgot to mention, reruns of the Queen of Sauce TV show play every Wednesday. We missed out on every cooking recipe in year 1, so these reruns are how we will learn the recipes we missed. I'm also going to be completely honest here. I don't know if by watching every rerun in year 2, we will be guaranteed to learn all of the recipes we missed in year 1. I hope that's how it works, but there could very well be a possibility that we will get to the final day of year 2 and be missing a cooking recipe. If that happens, then we have failed this challenge, and that would not be very cash money. I consider buying a rare seed and a coffee bean at the travelling cart, but I decide against it. I will be making big money moves very soon, so I don't want to be making any purchases right now. That, and I also can't afford these 2 items, so, there you go. I head to the community center and read the Golden Scroll. If I'm being honest, read is a bit of an exaggeration because I have no idea what it says. I cannot read the language it is written in. Not yet, anyway. You see that? That's a little bit of foreshadowing. I don't know if I'm making a YouTube video or an M. Night Shyamalan movie at this point. Once again, it is off to the mines for the rest of the day. I am fully aware that I'm spending quite a bit of time in this location, but this is all part of my master plan. All shall be revealed in due time. The wizard sends us a letter on day 8. He is aware that we went into the community center and found the Golden Scroll. He wants us to pay him a visit in his tower. If I got a letter from somebody called M. Rasmodius telling me that their sources let him know that we've been exploring a local building and told me to meet him in his tower in the forest, I would immediately leave town and never look back. Some potatoes and parsnips are ready for harvest, not enough to be excited about, but I'm still grateful for these crops. I visit the wizard and he teaches me how to read the scroll in the community center. It seems like the wizard is under the impression that I'm going to rebuild the community center. The wizard thinks too highly of me. That's not me saying I'm going to go for the Joja route though. Actually, no, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm doing the Joja route. I figure I might as well let you all know now so you can click off the video if you don't want to watch a playthrough where somebody doesn't repair the community center. I understand if that's what you decide to do. I do not blame you at all. The reason why I'm doing this is it's a lot easier to complete the Joja route and unlock Ginger Island than it is to complete the community center. And the sooner we get to Ginger Island, the more likely we are to achieve perfection by the end of the year. Once again, it is back to our home away from home, the mines. Using the tractor in the mines gives me the same sense of happiness I felt watching Cody Rhodes make his return at WrestleMania 38. For any of you who don't watch wrestling, I am basically very happy right now. I reach level 10 in mining and choose the perk that gives a 50% bonus to the money we earn from selling metal bars. Like Triple H putting on a new outfit, the game has changed. I earn almost 40,000 gold mainly because of the gold bars I sold. Demetrius blesses us with his presence on day 9. He has a proposition for us. We can either choose to have mushrooms grow in the cave on the farm, or we can have fruit show up in the cave. Ordinarily, I would go with the fruit because it makes it easier to get the fruit I need for the shipping collection. But I want to challenge myself just a teeny bit considering how easy I've made things already. So I go for the mushrooms instead. A bunch of potatoes have grown, so I collect them. Are there enough potatoes for me to be excited about? Yes. Absolutely yes. Especially because it's all potatoes. Potatoes are sensational. I will be honest, I do feel like my laziness has reached new heights as I use my tractor to water the few seeds that are still growing. Also, I have not forgotten about working on my friendship with the villagers. I'm making sure to give marvelous gifts to all of them. The one thing I don't want to happen is to fall behind on our friendships. It is very easy for me to forget about talking to the villagers and giving them some nice items, so I'm making sure I stay on top of it. I also want to make somewhat of a good impression on these people before I put the final nail in the coffin of the community center. Speaking of which, it is time to do exactly that. I head to Joja Mart and buy a Joja membership. The Joja route has now officially begun. But make no mistake about it, I did not sell out. I bought in. I did this for all of the villagers. Okay, no, I did this for a few of the villagers. I did this to make sure I can get to Ginger Island really quickly. Alright, I did it because I like the colour blue and Joja Mart is blue. The wizard has a special order for us. He would like us to defeat a prismatic slime, collect the prismatic jelly it drops, and bring it to him. I will get around to this eventually. But for now, I want to catch the fish that show up in the mines. I go to floor 20 because I want to start with the stonefish. I catch a ghost fish followed by another ghost fish. Next we have a third ghost fish. A fourth one does pop up and I do catch it, but this one is iridium quality as opposed to gold quality, so I'm not too annoyed about this one. Of course, next we have a fifth ghost fish followed by a sixth ghost fish. Yeah, this isn't working. I swap to floor 60 so I can get the ice pip. I catch a ghost fish, then I pass out. On day 10, I watch a Queen of Sauce rerun and learn how to make coleslaw. Demetrius wants a cave carrot. I have plenty of these, so I will happily accept this quest. I make my way to Joja Mart where I spend 40,000 gold to unlock the bus to the desert. Part 1 of my master plan has just been achieved. I give a carrot to Demetrius as he requested. I am such a good person. Then I return to the mines to continue our fishing adventure. Will I have better luck today than I did yesterday? No. No, not at all. The same thing happened. I kept getting ghost fish. At this point, the playthrough might as well be called I played 112 Days of Stardew Valley and was haunted by the ghost fish. Once again, I opt for a change of scenery. I do some fishing on floor 100 where something not that chill happened. I got a bunch of trash. I did not catch the lava eel. That is it. That is the entire day. I'm going to cry. Day 11. Let's just forget about yesterday. It's not canon, alright? Yesterday never happened. I impatiently await Pam's arrival at the bus stop, purchase a bus ticket, and arrive at the desert. I immediately enter the Skull Caverns, and of course I call upon my Lyle steed, aka the tractor. I pick up crystal shoes on floor 22. I love these shoes. This Skull Cavern run is already a massive success. Anything that happens after this is just a lovely bonus. I'm not too concerned about breaking every rock I find on the early floors. The main priority is getting to around level 100 as fast as possible. That is when we will start getting quite a bit of iridium ore. Thanks to the perk I picked at mining level 10, iridium bars sell for 1500 gold. As soon as we start throwing the iridium ore into furnaces, there won't be enough yeast in the world for the amount of bread we'll be making. On top of this, we're also picking up a lot of really good items. We can get dinosaur eggs from the Pepper Rex monsters, as well as a decent amount of copper, iron and gold ore, diamonds, emeralds and pretty much every other gem. We can give these gems to the villagers. Omni geodes are also easy to get now, so that will help us with the museum collection. There are also chests in the Skull Caverns that will give us some valuable items. I make it to floor 134 at 7 PM. Floor 134 is not significant or important in any way, shape or form. I do not know why I specifically mentioned it here. Anyway, at this point I've got over 300 iridium ore, a couple hundred copper, iron and gold ore, various gems and even a prismatic shard. I get a crystallarium from a chest and pick up another prismatic shard on floor 159. It turns out it's pretty easy to get prismatic shards when you can break every rock on a floor in like 10 seconds. Who would have thunk? At around midnight, I make the executive decision to leave the Skull Cavern. I am very happy with the loot I have acquired here today. I exchange a prismatic shard for the galaxy sword, make 21 furnaces, pop them beside the existing furnaces and toss my ores and coal into the chest attached to them. I did have a bit of a silly goose moment though. I wanted to put a diamond into the crystallarium I picked up today, but I passed out before I could. Mr. Key sends us a letter on day 12. He has challenged us to make it to floor 25 of the Skull Caverns. Already done, brochacho, give me my money. When I opened the chest beside my furnaces, my eyes were blessed with a beautiful sight. 31 iridium bars are ready. I make a sizable donation to the museum, sell my purple gold to Clint, and start the process of opening up all of the geodes I have. This was a gargantuan task and took up many minutes of my time as I went from cracking open geodes to donating the items I received to cracking open more geodes and so on and so forth. Despite donating a small percentage of my lifespan to this task, I do have to admit that it was absolutely worth it as we get multiple prismatic shards and the museum is quickly filling up. I am strong enough also to admit when I have made a mistake, and this is unfortunately one of those moments. Basically, I realized after I was done with all of this that it would have been more worthwhile to go through the magma geodes and normal geodes first as opposed to the omni geodes. The reason for this being we can trade our omni geodes for artifact troves in the desert. Actually, you know what? Mistake isn't the right word for it. As the great Bob Ross once said, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Speaking of happy accidents, I go into the Joja Mart and purchase the minecart upgrade. Yeah, look, I'm not proud of the fact that I'm doing the Joja route. Ignore everything I said previously, I'm actually very ashamed of it. It is time now for us to work on the special order the wizard gave us. Just to refresh your memory in case you have forgotten, he wants us to find a prismatic slime, collect the prismatic jelly it drops, and deliver it to him. This whole process of obtaining prismatic jelly has always been very hit or miss for me. And make no mistake about it, today was a miss of seismic proportions. My frustration levels rose higher and higher as a prismatic slime simply refused to show up. Dare I even say that my frustration was so strong that it registered on the Richter scale. I'm exaggerating for comedic purposes, of course, only slightly though. I was truly a bit miffed about this whole kerfuffle. The end result of this whole ordeal was I did not obtain the prismatic jelly. This was an upsetting end to a good day. Long story short, 9 out of 10. Gunther pays us a visit on day 13. He thanks us for our contributions to the museum and gives us the key to the sewer as a thank you. Sweet, now we can meet Krobus and work on our friendship with him. Mr. Key has given us our 10,000 gold reward for reaching floor 25 of the Skull Caverns. Alright, listen. I need everybody right now to agree that we won't tell Mr. Key that I used a tractor to go through the Skull Caverns. I don't think he would be too pleased with me if this information was revealed to him. Moving on quickly now, some cauliflower is ready for harvest. Today is already a fantastic day. This is making me feel a lot better about the prismatic jelly incident. I toss some gold and iridium bars into the shipping bin. I'm already starting to feel like a bit of an entrepreneur, and I do a quick forage run at the bus stop. I probably did not have to mention that, but it's something small that brings me happiness, so I want to share that. The good news train continues to roll steadily along the tracks as the Egg Festival takes place today. I buy 985 strawberry seeds, which honestly caught me off guard. I did not think I would be able to buy that many. This is going to put us in a very good position later in spring. Next up is the egg hunt. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I absolutely steamrolled the competition here. I collected egg after egg after egg with a completely unparalleled amount of speed and efficiency. I almost felt bad for the villagers competing against me, almost. So much so that I made myself believe that every one of these villagers was given the option of adopting the dog Marnie brought to her farm on day 1, and they all said no. That is the only reason why I will be able to sleep tonight without constantly thinking about how I took a friendly competition this seriously. Also, planting all of the strawberry seeds I bought has led to a significant increase in the production of serotonin in my body. I also earn over 100,000 gold from the sale of iridium and gold bars. I love this game. I love this game so much. When it goes well, it just goes well. Mother has sent us a pink cake on day 14. I learned how to make hash browns, which, by the way, hash browns are incredible. Hash browns and a nice cup of tea is always a phenomenal way to start the day. I head to the beach and use 300 pieces of wood to rebuild the broken bridge. Now we can access the tide pool area. This is a wonderful little area. I am always very happy when I unlock it. I enter the sewer for the first time and introduce myself to Krobus. I buy 2 crafting recipes and a star drop from him. Our shopping spree continues as I pay 35,000 gold to unlock the greenhouse. Next stop is Robin's, where I ask her to build a coop on the farm. Again, I also buy multiple crafting recipes from her. Finally, I head to the mines where I ruin my day once again. I failed to obtain prismatic jelly. I am the opposite of happy right now. Evelyn shows up on day 15 to brighten up our day. She gives us the garden pot. This allows us to grow a crop inside it. Assuming the garden pot is indoors, we can grow a seed from any season in it. For example, starfruit seeds can only be planted during summer on the farm. But if I was to go to Sandy's shop in the desert and purchase a starfruit seed, I could plant it in the garden pot. I'm not going to do that though. I don't know why I even said all of that. Moving on very quickly now, I harvest some spring forage that has grown, make some spring seeds and plant them. I felt like our smelting situation was not as efficient as it could be, so to rectify that dilemma, I made some more furnaces. Now we will be producing dozens if not millions of bars every day. It is salmonberry season, which normally would be a very good thing for us as salmonberries are a decent source of energy during spring. However, we have something better than salmonberries at our disposal. Complete, unlimited sheer willpower. And a tractor. I give Pam a parsnip as a thank you for being our personal bus driver, and I give a pink cake to Marnie just because I feel bad for the way Lewis treats her. If you are not aware of the whole situation, Marnie wants to be in a relationship with Lewis. He does not want to be in a relationship with her but still strings her along. That is diabolical behaviour. I know I normally use words like diabolical in like a comedic sense. This is not one of those moments. I'm being seriously right now. I purchased the bridge upgrade. Pam has a special order for us. She wants some potato juice. We don't have any kegs right now, but I feel like this special order will give us the motivation we need to start producing kegs. So I accept it. There is one small problem though. You unlock the crafting recipe for kegs when you reach level 8 in farming. Yeah, we need to hustle with this one. We have 14 days to do all of the following. Reach level 8 in farming, make tappers, attach them to oak trees, wait 7 days for them to produce oak resin, make kegs, put potatoes into the kegs, wait 4 days for them to produce potato juice and give it to Pam. Yeah, that's not happening. I will not be able to do that. I'm just going to give up before I even get started on this one. Also, I have decided that I will not be using the shop overhaul mod. It is simply too good to use alongside an easy mode playthrough. To make myself feel better about not utilizing the shop overhaul mod, I decide to purchase 25 of each spring seed along with an extra 25 parsnip seeds. Our farm is looking splendiferous with all of the strawberry seeds we have planted. But I believe it could look even more splendid with the planting of even more seeds of various types. So that is exactly what I do. We now have over 1,200 seeds planted on the farm. And you know what? That still isn't enough. I want to get to the point where the entire farm is covered with seeds. Then and only then will my appetite for seeds be satiated. In rather dreadful news, however, I am too late to purchase a ticket to the desert. But even if I had not been late, I still wouldn't even have enough gold to afford a ticket. Woe is me, and me is woe, and we is mo. In lieu of a Skull Cavern adventure, I opt to go through the mines. The primary goal here is to collect copper ore, which will be used for the production of more furnaces and copper bars. Day 16 begins with the most satisfying watering session of all time. I could feel my right arm begin to shake slightly out of excitement as the ground turned from light brown to dark brown. This is what easy mode is all about. Having the power to water over 1,000 crops in the space of 30 seconds. I sell some cave carrots to Caroline's husband and use the money to fund my trip to the desert where I enter the Skull Caverns. I have begun incorporating the spicy eel dish into my Skull Cavern skylarking sessions. The spicy eel dish gives a +1 to our speed when we eat it. This speed bonus also affects the speed of the tractor, which is just gravy. I get a rain totem in a chest on floor 128, which is a very nice pickup. I am very happy about that one. I end up completing the Pepper Rex monster eradication goal tonight, which I was not expecting, but I will gracefully accept. Just after 1 AM, the satisfaction I feel regarding the state of my inventory is so high that I decide to use a warp totem to get back home. I toss every ore I have into my furnaces except of course for the copper ore. These are used to make more furnaces, all of which I manage to place before the night is over. It is day 17 and the script for this video is already over 6,000 words. Spring is going to be like 50 minutes long. I hope you've all got a nice drink and maybe even some snacks with you because I'm only just getting started. I will be so happy if I can start every morning off by watering a field of seeds. I do not know why, but it is a feeling I can only describe as a purification of the soul. I sell some iridium bars to Clint, then I fulfill the prophecy and buy the final upgrade in JojaMart. What prophecy is that, you may ask? I don't know, it's sort of a plot hole really. Anyhoomst, I visit Haley and Emily's house where they are arguing. Haley does not want to clean under the cushions. Unfortunately for them, I am not here to resolve their argument or to help them reach a compromise. No, you see, I am here on very important business. I combine a piece of cloth with a field snack to make a denim jacket. That is the important business, which I am sure we can all agree is a far more valuable use of time than helping Emily and Haley with their kerfuffle. I ask Robin to upgrade the coop on our farm, then it is off to the quarry where I continue the tradition of eradicating the nature vibe of every location I visit. I plant many tree saplings here though, so technically I'm actually making the place more environmentally friendly. I spend quite a bit of time in the Skull Caverns. I find some iridium sprinklers in a chest on floor 63. While I won't need these for the main farm, they could be useful in the greenhouse. I also find a cowboy hat on floor 135, which means it is officially time to retire the straw hat I received for winning the egg hunt. I remain here until around 1 AM, at which point I head to the Desert Trader and exchange my Omni Geodes for artifact troves. I also exchange diamonds for triple shot espressos and rubies for spicy eels. If we consume both of these items at the same time, we will get +2 speed boost. I deposit the ores I collected into the furnaces chest, save for the copper ores which I use to make more furnaces. I would like to begin day 18 by showing you what a typical hardwood collection run looks like. I literally just drive the tractor through the secret woods. I break all 6 tree stumps here, which gives us 12 hardwood every time. I also catch the wood skip while I'm here. Next up is a very special cutscene. Morris, the manager of the local Joja Mart, has thrown a little celebration for us. You know what? I may not be the biggest fan of Joja, but it's nice to feel appreciated, and that is exactly how the members of Joja have made me feel. They also gave me a soda machine, so I no longer feel bad for taking the Joja approach. I wanted to give Krobus a horseradish, but I can't as I've already given him 2 gifts this week. That is deeply upsetting. I sell 111 iridium bars to Clint, earning us a tasty 160,000 gold. I immediately purchased 250 coal before starting the process of having all of our artifact troves broken open. We are getting some nice things like a pearl, a treasure chest, and various artifacts. I donate said artifacts to the museum, then I check how much progress we have made. It turns out we have made quite a bit of progress. I only have to donate 1 more mineral, which is marble. I can get this from frozen geodes and omni geodes. I still have to donate 16 artifacts, which honestly isn't too bad. I can get most of them from artifact troves and I can use the tractor to easily dig up the ground to get the others. So overall, I would say things are looking pretty nice for us in this area. I finally introduced myself to Sandy, the owner of the shop in the desert. I should have done this sooner, my bad. I buy 25 rhubarb and beet seeds along with a full stack of deluxe speed grow. 100 starfruit seeds are also acquired during this little shopping spree. I give Pamela a prismatic shard as a birthday present. She responds by telling me to go away. You know what? I have heard worse from people who I respect a lot more, so this didn't bother me. The wizard has requested a cave carrot. I love getting handy quests like this one. I buy 25 garlic seeds and 1 of each fruit tree sapling. I then spend 5,000 gold on sugar. I don't know why I did that. A nice blue wallpaper and flooring is on sale, so I decide to scoop them up. I plant the garlic and rhubarb seeds I bought, plant the fruit tree saplings, and get my greenhouse set up. I have 4 iridium sprinklers, thanks to the time I spent in the Skull Caverns, so I don't have to worry about coming in here and watering the seeds every day. The seeds in question being starfruit seeds and beet seeds. I also sprinkle deluxe speed grow on them. I do have some unfortunate news though. It seems like my very being has been infected with the Joja gene. Without even realizing what I was doing, I converted my house from a cozy cottage to a shrine dedicated to Joja. I even turned off the fireplace, perhaps a metaphor for the manner in which my heart has been turned cold after allowing the community centre to be destroyed. I decide that a moment of peace is needed, not only because of my conversion to a fully fledged Joja member, but also because the last 18 days have been nothing short of hectic. I sit on a chair on my porch and do nothing for the rest of the night. This was absolutely therapeutic. I listen to the hum of the furnaces, the smooth crackling tickling in my ears, and observe the natural beauty of the farm. My soul once again feels at peace, the beating of my heart has slowed, and I feel absolutely sterling. I needed this reset. I needed it so much. But enough dilly-dallying. Let's get back to business. William sends us a letter on day 19. He wants us to come to his shop when we get the chance. He also said something a bit weird at the end. P.S. I have noticed that my left hand shakes when I eat dirt. This is the first time it's happened during my 25-year streak of eating dirt every day. Do you know anything about this? I am starting to get a bit concerned. No. No, sorry, Willie, I don't know anything about that. Moving on now from that, situation, I toss a dinosaur egg into the incubator in the coop. A lizard will hatch from it in 12 days. Many parsnips are ready for harvest. After collecting those, I head to the quarry where I entered the mines. I make it to the end where I obtain the golden scythe. This was an absolutely grueling task, one which I almost failed many times. It took every ounce of passion and dedication of my body to obtain this wonderful tool, and I am not being serious at all. It took like maybe 20 seconds at the most to do this. Which makes sense, of course, because I'm using the tractor. I ask Robin to upgrade the coop. No, I don't actually. I can't afford it. That's kind of embarrassing. I sell some iridium bars to Clint, then I return to Robin's and actually have the coop upgraded this time. I head to the shop owned by Abigail's father, where I purchase 50 of each spring seed. I plant all of these seeds, then I do my regular hardwood collection run in the secret woods. It is time now to begin a very special mission given to us by the wizard. I meet him at the mountain area where he instructs us to head to the mutant bug lair, an area that can be found in the sewers. Our good acquaintance Krobus gives us a hand as he opens the door to the mutant bug lair. Before I head in, however, I decide that now is the perfect time to do a bit of fishing. A legendary fish called the mutant carp can be caught here in the sewers. In what has become a bit of a trend when it comes to fishing, the fish I wanted, in this case the mutant carp, did not show up. With a heavy heart, I enter the mutant bug lair where I attempt to catch another new fish called the slimejack. Thankfully, this fish actually does appear and I catch it. I meticulously maneuver my way through the area and collect the dark talisman at the end. In what would end up being a terrible decision, I spend the rest of the night fishing in the sewers trying to catch the elusive mutant carp. I failed. I am awoken on day 20 by the sound of Cheese snoring loudly. He's such a Gouda dog. Do you get it? Like good dog, but like Gouda because of Gouda cheese. I'm sorry. I harvest some kale, then I collect some more hardwood. I'm going to stop mentioning the hardwood collecting thing from now on. You can just assume I collect hardwood pretty much every day. I make 9 lightning rods and place them a bit haphazardly on the farm. I'm not too concerned with the visual aesthetic of the farm right now though, I'm all about the productivity side of it. I venture into the Skull Caverns, and at this point there's not much to say about the Skull Cavern runs that I haven't said before. We're getting a ton of Omni Geodes, ores and gems every single time. It's also a lot less stressful than normal Skull Cavern runs. I said it before, I will say it again. It is so incredibly satisfying doing this with the tractor. I get another Crystallarium on floor 84, followed by 2 Rain Totems on floor 86 and 1 more on floor 100. I trade my Omni Geodes for artifact troves, then I spend the rest of the day in the mines with a heavy focus on collecting artifacts. Using the hoe to dig up the ground here yields significant results as I get multiple artifacts I still need to donate to the museum. I reach level 5 in farming, so I choose the perk that gives us a 10% bonus to the gold we get from selling crops. I learn how to make a complete breakfast on day 21, and a beautiful sight awaits me when I leave the house. All of the strawberries have fully grown, which means it is time for our first strawberry harvest. Blue jazz, tulips, and potatoes are also ready for collection. Also, if you use a rain totem on a stormy day, there will be a storm on the following day too. So that is exactly what I do here. I'm going to do this a couple more times so we can get more battery packs. Speaking of battery packs, the lightning rods I created yesterday have produced some, so I collect them. A battery pack is a very valuable item for multiple reasons. They are needed for a couple of crafting recipes, and we need them to repair the boat that will take us to Ginger Island. Our bank account is looking pretty miserable right now, so I sell some iridium bars to Clint. I sell my strawberries, ask Robin to build a barn for us, and buy some chickens, ducks, and rabbits for a coop. The following animals have joined the family: Rhea, Finn, and JD the chickens, Dominic, Damien, Jimmy, Jay, and Solo the ducks, and Paul, Roman, Sammy, and Hornswoggle the rabbits. I buy 2 auto grabbers from Marnie. I have given her a ton of money today, along with a rare seed and a coffee bean from the travelling cart. I put an auto grabber into the coop and say hello to our new animals, then I plant a coffee bean right in front of a scarecrow to keep it safey-wafey. I spend the rest of the day fishing. I want to get to fishing level 9 at least before the end of spring. Days 22 to 26 are also spent fishing. Some other things happened during that period of time that I would also like to talk about, however. I reach level 10 in farming, so I choose the perk that makes crops grow 10% faster. An ancient fruit appeared along with some spring forage. I created a seed maker along with some more spring seeds. I did some frolicking through my little lightning rod area, collecting battery packs as I did before planting the spring seeds I made. I used another rain totem, tossed an ancient fruit into a seed maker, harvested beets, and planted 2 ancient seeds and a rare seed. Sebastian wanted a sardine. Lovely, I was able to get that for him very easily. I decided to give a prismatic shard to Abigail and her father, then I bought all of the fruit tree saplings a second time. I didn't want to run the risk of the ones I planted on the farm not growing properly, so these were thrown into the greenhouse very soon after I made this purchase. Krobus was next up on our list of gift recipients, followed by the aforementioned planting of fruit trees in the greenhouse. I attended the Flower Dance Festival, where I purchased the Tub of Flowers crafting recipe along with a rare crow. I decided to ask nobody to dance with me here. Quite frankly, I am not comfortable with any of them dancing with me or even being near me in any capacity. I do not want that. Nothing against the villagers, I simply do not wish to partake in any of that. Back to the present day now as we begin day 27 with our second and final strawberry harvest of spring. Many other crops and forage items grew during the period I spent fishing, but I decided I would wait until now to harvest them so that we could all enjoy it together. I collect the battery packs that I've accumulated in the chest, harvest a tantalizing amount of starfruit in the greenhouse, and toss all of the starfruit into the shipping bin. I do not toss all of my other crops in there, however, only 1 or 2 of them each, so they'll be crossed off the list of items I need to ship as part of the shipping collection. I'm going to show me collecting hardwood here just because this was the moment when I got enough hardwood to repair the boat in Willie's shop. I grab a piece of wool from the auto grabber, make some tree fertilizer, and plant some mahogany tree seeds in the quarry. I'm going to need a significant amount of hardwood in the future, so these mahogany seeds will be a lifesaver. I sprinkle fertilizer on all of the seeds I have planted here and ask Robin to upgrade the barn. I give Emily a piece of wool for her birthday. I am actually really surprised I'm still making good progress on our friendships, and I check the special orders board. The wizard is giving us a second chance to acquire the prismatic jelly. That is tremendously kind of him, but I'm going to have to decline. You see, I just won't have enough time to go to the mines today or tomorrow. I have other things in mind. So instead, I accept Demetrius's order to catch 20 ocean fish. Hopefully, Rasmodius has enough kindness in his heart to give us another opportunity in the future. I enter Willie's shop, where the big man himself, Mr. William, shows us his dilapidated boat. He says he needs 200 hardwood, 5 iridium bars, and 5 battery packs to repair it. Well, Mr. Will.I.am, have I got news for you. I have all of those things with me right now. How did I know you would require all of these materials? I'm actually a sidekick. Not a sidekick, no, but a sidekick. You see, my partner in crime told me that I would need all of these things to repair the boat, hence me being here with these items. In other news, Willie wants us to catch a sardine. Okay, now he's just being greedy. I have done way too much for him today already. I'm going to pass on that quest. As I predicted, we are going to fail Pam's special order to bring her potato juice. It's not all bad though. It did motivate me to plant oak trees in the quarry and unlock the crafting recipe for kegs, so I think I'm going to consider this I'll call it a win. Despite not actually completing the order, some good did come out of it. I use a rain totem, then I spend the rest of the day at the beach working on Demetrius's order. I'm also going to use this as an opportunity to talk about my plan for tomorrow. In short, I have two options. Option number 1, focus on catching the legend fish. The legend only shows up in spring on a rainy day when you have reached level 10 in fishing. I used a rain totem to make sure it rains tomorrow, and I'm currently level 9 in fishing, so I can buy a trout soup which will bump me up to level 10. The problem is, I've pretty much always struggled with catching the legend, so if I go with this option, it's almost a guarantee that I will be spending the entire day fishing. There is also a decent chance that I won't catch the fish at all, which would end spring on a bit of a sad note, and I don't really want that. Option number 2 is I spend the entire day on Ginger Island. I already like the sound of that. And the thing is too, tomorrow isn't my last chance to catch the legend. There's an item called Magic Bait. This type of bait allows you to catch any fish in any season, which means I can still catch the legend in summer or fall or winter. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Ginger Island tomorrow, I've just convinced myself. Alright, let's move on to the final day of spring. On day 28, I checked the progress I have made on this special order. I only have to catch 6 more fish to complete it. Nice. Here is an update on how our friendships have been going. You can tell straight away which villagers had a birthday in spring. Pam and Emily are on 5 hearts, a couple of villagers are on 4 hearts, most villagers are on 3 or 2 hearts, and a small amount are only on 1 heart. I'm not concerned about those villagers. By the time their birthdays come around, I'll be able to give them a gold star items that they love, which will give us a bonus 3 hearts of friendship with them. So, overall, I am very happy with how this whole thing is going. Of course, it goes without saying that we had easy access to gifts thanks to the tractor. We used it to get gems in the mines, and it also boosted our foraging level, which resulted in us picking up silver and gold star forage items, which also make great gifts for the villagers. The final harvest of the season comes in the form of cauliflower. I kinda wish it was potatoes, or even better, another strawberry harvest for even more gold, but this is still nice. I spend some time fishing at the beach to complete the special order Demetrius gave us. I immediately receive a reward of 1500 gold. But I will also receive the crafting recipe for the computer in the mail tomorrow. I buy 15 crab pots and set them up along the boardwalk, making sure to fill them up with bait as I do. I pay 1000 gold to be able to purchase a ticket to Ginger Island. Considering I single-handedly retrieved all of the items that were used to repair this boat, I don't think it's necessarily fair that I have to pay to be able to use it. But, I mean, at least that money is going to William, so I will let this one slide. I finally set foot upon the sandy shores of Ginger Island, and I immediately get to work collecting golden walnuts in the forest area. I collect a second walnut from a bush, then I obtain a third one by using an axe on a tree in Leo's treehouse. I watch a cutscene where I introduce myself to Leo, or at least I try to introduce myself to Leo. I have to collect a total of 10 walnuts before he'll speak to me. The good thing about using the tractor is it makes finding golden walnuts a lot easier. Or at least it would, but I forgot to bring my hoe with me. I feel very foolish right now. I run home and grab my hoe and the copper pan. I kinda panicked and decided to bring that with me too, just in case. I spend another 1000 gold on a ticket. I'm not mad, I just think I should get some sort of discount on the ticket at least. Then, as I was saying, the good thing about using the tractor is it makes finding golden walnuts a lot easier. I can just equip my hoe while I'm on the tractor and it will dig up a big patch of land in like 3 seconds. So, finding all of the walnuts that are hidden in the sand is a walk in the park. I make sure to collect every walnut I have access to in this area at this very moment before I enter the volcano dungeon. The first thing I do here is use my watering can to create a path leading to the left side of the entrance. I go through a door here and collect 2 golden walnuts on the other side. The rest of the day is spent going through the volcano dungeon. I obtain quite a few golden walnuts here by defeating monsters and breaking rocks. I am also getting some valuable items like a dragon tooth, pineapple seeds, cinder shards, and journal scraps. Some of these journal scraps will reveal the locations of hidden golden walnuts when I read them. Just to very quickly give my thoughts on spring, I feel like the first 28 days went pretty well. Comparing this playthrough to the original easy mode playthrough, I am already making far more progress in this one. I repaired the community center the last time I did this, so I didn't get to Ginger Island until the start of winter in that one. But in this playthrough, not only have I made it to Ginger Island already, I have also collected around 20 golden walnuts on the last day of spring. I hope you have all enjoyed watching my escapades during this season, and again, I do want to emphasize that the point of this whole easy mode playthrough isn't a showcase of skill or anything like that. It's more so just trying to have as much fun as possible with the upgraded tools and the tractor. I understand a playthrough like this isn't everybody's cup of tea, so if you've made it to this point and you're still 50-50 on the whole easy mode concept, then that's completely understandable. I just hope you found it entertaining up to this point. Anyhoomst, I will not waste any more of your time. I wasn't able to make it to the end of the volcano dungeon before I passed out, unfortunately, but that's okay. I can come back here tomorrow and avenge myself. And with that, I will see you all in summer. Day 29, the first day of summer. I say goodbye to the remnants of the spring crops, which is always a bittersweet moment. I hate seeing all of these wilted remains, but there are many more crops we can plant this season that will continue the legacy that was started by last season's crops. I decide to make 5 iridium sprinklers. These shall be used on the Ginger Island farm. William has sent me a letter in which he tells me about how he had to drag me back to the boat last night after I passed out on Ginger Island. Okay, what do you want a medal or even a cookie? Because I can give you both of those things. That was very kind of you, William. Thank you. We also received the crafting recipe for the computer as a reward for completing the special order Demetrius gave us. It is time for the routine chopping down of trees. If there is one thing I never want to be short of during this playthrough, it is wood. That would be a dire situation. Just in case you don't know what a dire situation is, it is like a normal situation, but it is dire. I buy 450 starfruit seeds from Sandy, a purchase which I am sure I will repeat many times during summer, and I accept a quest from Maru. She wants jade. I have jade. She has money. I want money. As a professional businessman and part-time entrepreneur, I can sense when a deal can be made. And this is one of those moments. I purchased 25 of most of the summer seeds along with 50 of a couple of the summer seeds. I also buy 100 of my favorite item, the Luck Speed Grow. We are truly being blessed today as Lady Luck herself has decided to shine a light upon us. We have been given a third opportunity to get prismatic jelly. The unfortunate aspect of this is both of these special orders have a crafting recipe attached to them. In a perfect world, I would be able to accept both of these right now, but as we can only choose one, I decide to choose the prismatic jelly order. I head to Robin's where I do not have enough money to upgrade the barn, so I ask her to upgrade our house instead. Back on the farm, I plant all of the seeds I bought today. I am already very excited to see everything grow, especially the starfruit seeds. It is going to feel cathartic harvesting all of this starfruit and seeing the effect it has on our bank account. I toss a garlic into a seed maker so I can get garlic seeds, then I head to the boardwalk at the tide pool area. We have a very important mission to complete here. That mission is to catch our first legendary fish, the crimson fish. I catch a super cucumber followed by a super cucumber, next up is a lingcod and a halibut. For a second there I thought we were going to keep getting super cucumbers. I did get to a point where I felt like the crimson fish was not going to show up tonight, but thankfully it eventually did. It also isn't a particularly difficult fish to catch, so all in all this was a rather enjoyable experience. I was feeling pretty good about myself and wanted to keep the fishing train going, so I head to the sewers where the mutant carp does not show up and I pass out. I buy a melon seed, a wheat seed and the Luck Speed Grow on the morning of day 30. Next up on our list of super duper important things to do is to use 10 golden walnuts to unlock the west side of Ginger Island. As always, using the tractor to clear out the farm is nothing short of a phenomenal experience. I wish I could do it over and over again, but alas, I am a very busy bee. I plant the wheat, melon and garlic seeds I have, then I take a moment to absolutely annihilate the natural beauty of the beach. In my defense, I got a golden walnut by doing this. I collect a walnut in the shipwreck, pour some water on an innocent creature. I apologize, but that was a necessary evil. I need this golden walnut. And I use the tractor to make the process of finding the walnuts that are hidden in the ground a lot easier. And by easier, I mean I kinda just do nothing. I just drive around and let the golden walnuts come to me. I defeat a group of tiger slimes and dig up a patch of dirt, which nets us a further 2 walnuts. I find one in a bush, followed by another in a bush, and long story short, I collect almost every golden walnut you can find on this side of the island. I will, however, make sure to specifically mention any future walnuts I find in this area. I make my way to the volcano dungeon where I used the slingshot to obtain a walnut before unlocking the dig site area. I do a bit of landscaping, shall we say, which provides us with bone fragments and artifacts. I utilize the tractor and my brain. I know, I'm also surprised that I'm using my brain. It took a while for the cogs to start turning and for the cobwebs to be cleaned up, but believe me, my brain is and has been working at 101% power during this entire run so far. I do not want to fail this challenge. That would be just a little bit embarrassing considering how easy it is. The farmhouse here on Ginger Island has been repaired, which means I can now sleep on the island. On day 31, I remember I never made it to the end of the volcano dungeon when I came here at the end of spring. That is a miscarriage of justice. I cannot allow things to remain this way. I steamroll my way through the volcano dungeon, collecting copious amounts of goodies and golden walnuts along the way. I reach the shop on level 5 where I realize I cannot buy anything from the dwarf here because I haven't donated all of the dwarf scrolls to the museum. There is one scroll absent from the collection. I'm sure I have it lying in a chest somewhere, so this is just me being lackadaisical and forgetting to donate it. I really do need to take it to the museum soon though. We will receive the Dwarvish translation guide for doing so, which will not only allow us to buy things from this shop, but we will also be able to become friends with the dwarf in the mines, and the sooner we do that, the better. Okay, now that I've said that out loud, I really should have donated that scroll sooner. That could be a problem in the future, and a big problem at that. Anyhoomst, our journey through the dungeon went very well. I acquired many more walnuts and made it to the end. Here I obtain a further 2 golden walnuts as well as a prismatic shard. Changing course completely now, I have found a rainbow shell at the beach. What an absolutely marvellous piece of forage. Also, I really wish we could go to more locations with the minecarts. They make getting around the area so much faster. It is time now to water our massive field full of seeds. This is something that will have to be done daily as I refuse to use iridium sprinklers on this farm for some reason. I don't really know why. I mean, I know I have the tractor, but they would still be useful, so I don't know, like maybe somewhere deep down inside of me, some little part of me is just completely opposed to the idea of using sprinklers on this farm. I don't know how to explain it. I don't even know why I'm saying this. I'm off topic again. This is going to happen quite a bit. I'm sorry. But just to go back to the whole sprinkler thing again, I am using them in the greenhouse because I'm too lazy to go in there every day. It is time now to end the day on a good note. It is time to get the prismatic jelly. You will notice I did not say I'm going to attempt to get the jelly or we have the chance to end the day on a good note. No, there is no maybe. There isn't just a chance. I am manifesting the appearance of a prismatic slime. I will get the jelly, and this day will end on a positive note. Sure enough, the prismatic slime does appear. I defeat it and obtain the elusive jelly. I kinda want to spread this jelly on some toast and see what it tastes like. I run to the mountain area and use the dark talisman to open up the entrance to the witch's swamp. I do a bit of fishing to obtain the void mayonnaise and give it to the single best character in the entire game. The Goblin Henchman. And that isn't just my opinion, by the way. The Goblin Henchman is objectively the best character in the entire game. I mean, just think of all of the moments that involve the Goblin Henchman. We have this moment here. I return to the wizard and present him with his magic ink. We have now unlocked his shop, which means we can buy Junimo Huts, the 4 obelisks, and the golden clock. We need to obtain all 4 obelisks and the golden clock to achieve perfection, so that is going to be a really easy thing for me to do and will not be time-consuming, stressful, heartbreaking, and just overall a soul-crushing experience for me. No, I'm absolutely going to thoroughly enjoy earning enough gold to buy all of those items. I finally give the prismatic jelly to the wizard, completing his special order. I receive 5,000 gold from the wizard on day 32. The crafting recipe for Monster Musk has also been added to our repertoire. A little harvesting session takes place next, followed by a trip to the store owned by... I can't think of anything else to describe this man as, but I don't want to say his name. I don't like him. I buy 125 radish seeds, give a prismatic shard to Jazz for her birthday, and donate a couple of items to the museum. The dwarf scroll was not one of these items. I forgot about it again. Clint cracks open a golden coconut for us, which yields a golden walnut. I receive marble from a frozen geode along with a few more new artifacts from artifact troves. All of these items are of course donated. Gunther better give me a very nice Christmas present this year. I have been working overtime on basically making his museum look very nice. I think I deserve a hot chocolate or a hash brown or even both as a thank you. I make a cherry bomb, plant all of my radish seeds, and spend a bit of time digging up the ground on the beach. We can get golden coconuts and artifacts that can be donated to an office on the island by doing this. So I will make sure I do it as often as I can. I talk to Birdie, who has a quest for us. She gives us a memento which we will have to use to obtain a pirate's locket. Basically, we give the memento to someone, they give us an item in return, we give that item to someone else, rinse and repeat until somebody gives us the pirate's locket. Unfortunately for Birdie, however, my schedule has already been filled and so she will have to wait a while before I get around to doing that. I use the cherry bomb I made to free Professor Snail from the cave he was trapped in so I can begin donating items to the little museum he has in his office. I answer 2 questions related to the island in record time to obtain 2 golden walnuts, then I dig up another walnut and an ostrich egg. I toss this egg into the shipping bin. I could have saved it and used it to get an ostrich in the barn on our farm, but this egg is required for the shipping collection, so I wanted to get it out of the way now. Day 33 begins with the crafting of 70 tappers. I head to the quarry area where I chop down just a couple of maple trees, then I place tappers on the oak trees here. I give the memento to Kent, who gives us gourmet tomato salt. Gus is thrilled to receive this salt and in return gives us a Stardew Valley rose. I decide to have an early night, gotta make sure we keep our sleeping pattern intact, that is very important. Some radishes are ready for harvest on day 34. The rest of the day is spent going through the Skull Caverns. Our Skull Cavern escapades continue on days 35 through 38. I won't lie, I may be becoming slightly attached to the thrill of breaking rocks, breaking more rocks, and breaking even more rocks. In all seriousness though, seeing little pieces of iridium ore and prismatic shards fly towards my farmer causes the dopamine receptors in my brain to light up every single time. But make no mistake about it, these Skull Cavern runs aren't being done just to prevent the production of sad vibes in my body, no, they're keeping the dream of achieving perfection by the end of the year alive. I will forever be grateful to both the Skull Cavern and the tractor for this. Some important things did happen outside of the Skull Caverns during this period of time that I also want to mention. William had a delicious special order for us. He wants us to fetch 100 pieces of bug meat for him. I gave Gus a diamond for his birthday, then I decided to keep spreading the good vibes as I give presents to everybody in the carpenter/scientist/Sebastian family. It was Maru's birthday, but I can't leave the rest of her family out, can I? I mean, I could, actually, I absolutely could, but I decided to be nice here. Many different crops are ready for harvest on day 39. Melons, starfruit, blueberries, taro roots, peppers, tomatoes, and hops are all added to her inventory. Some of these crops grew during the period I spent in the Skull Caverns, but again, I wanted us all to be able to share this wonderful experience together. I toss all of my starfruit into the shipping bin along with 1 each of the other crops before throwing everything else into a chest. I want to make sure I've got everything I need for the cooking recipes in the future, so I'm going to keep around 90% of my crops in a chesty westy. I harvest a sweet gem berry in the greenhouse and give it to my old pal, the old Master Cannoli statue in the secret woods. I receive a star drop in return. As a part-time businessman and a former entrepreneur, I know a good deal when I see one, and this was a good deal. Dare I even say it was a very good deal. Moving on now to the luau, I toss a gold star melon into the soup. I spend some time talking to the villagers, then the governor tries the soup made by the entire town. The melon I added gets the best reaction from the governor, earning us half a friendship heart with the villagers. Moving on to day 48, the remaining starfruit are ready for harvest. I plant summer seeds because I want to make a monumental amount of progress this season when it comes to my foraging skill. I want to make a monumental amount of progress in general, actually, now that I think about it, but like, you know what I mean. I have maneuvered the crab pots from the beach to the town river so I can continue getting sea creatures that are needed for the fishing collection. I sell around 75, maybe 80% of the iridium bars I have to Clint, which pushes our bank account up to over 1.1 million gold. We are finally the opposite of broke. It took a while, but we are officially a millionaire. Our bank account goes from tasty to tantalizing as I sell my crops. I have big plans, some may even call them really big plans, that require 2 stacks of deluxe speed grow. This is quite expensive, but it will absolutely be worth it. I also purchased 50 red cabbage seeds because for some reason I forgot to buy them at the start of summer. Oops. I grabbed the wallpaper catalogue while I'm here too, then it's off to the desert where I buy 2 full stacks of starfruit seeds. I do a little foraging run. This is something I will be doing as often as I can to make sure I have a plentiful supply of coconuts and cactus fruit. I reach an entirely new level of farming as I plant my starfruit seeds, sprinkling deluxe speed grow on them as I do. This is the moment where I was no longer a humble planter of seeds, nay, I became a shining beacon of hard work, passion and hope. Not just for the residents of Pelican Town, but for every citizen in the region of Stardew Valley. As I planted my seeds and I chopped down trees, an old Irish saying popped into my mind. It is a long one, but I would like to share it with you all. Sen art a will fua, go quarter me an gra. Sen art a will kiuntucht, go quarter me pardun. Sen art a will auris, go quarter me crediv. En art na edocus, go quarter me andocus. En art na dorcadis, go quarter me solus. Sen art na will bron, go quarter me lucre. That translates in English to, where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. That might be too much for a Stardew Valley video, but I will take any opportunity I get to practice my Irish. With today's Irish lesson out of the way, let us progress now to the mines where I gallivant around the area collecting bug meat for William. I was not able to collect all 100 I needed, so I shall return in the very near future to continue working on this. I decide to expand my range of seeds on day 41, so I toss taro roots, ancient fruit and a pineapple into a seed maker. Up next on the agenda is a visit to Sandy so I can give her the Stardew Valley rose. I receive the advanced TV remote in return. I also buy 100 beet seeds while I'm here. Shane wants a coconut, I can take care of that very easily. I give a prismatic shard to Alex for his birthday and I give the advanced TV remote to George. He gives us the Arctic shard in return. I need to pay a visit to the wizard, but I make a quick stop in Marnie's first. Please give a warm welcome to 4 new goats. Yeah, nah, perhaps, and certainly. As well as this, Tranquility and Turbulence the cows have also joined the family. I have made what I believe is the single best business deal of my entire life. I gave the Arctic shard to the wizard and he gave me a wiggling worm. He got absolutely swindled in this one. What can I say? When you're good, and I am a good tradesman. I collect the seeds produced by the seed maker, then I watch a cutscene involving Abigail. She is playing the flute in the rain. I have no time for dilly-dallying, so I skip this cutscene, avoiding a scenario in which my farmer joins her. Instead, I ask Robin to upgrade the barn. It is at this point I notice the time. I want to go to Ginger Island, but Willie's shop closes at 5 PM. I make a beeline for the beach. I was listening to the final countdown during this and it really got me in the zone. I felt it. Deep down in my soul, I knew that I would make it on time. Unfortunately, I arrived too late, so that was very humbling, I must say. The good news is I ran into Willie, so I was able to give him the worm. I received the pirate's locket for doing this. Now all I have to do is present this locket to Birdie and her mission will be completed. But that will not be taking place tonight as I have rather important business to tend to. I must return to the mines and continue collecting bug meat. Floors 15 and 16 are very lucrative areas in terms of bugs, so I just farmed these two floors over and over again. I eventually reached the first goal of collecting 100 bug meat. I dropped this off at Willie's shop before the night ends, completing goal 2. You may notice I had over 100 bug meat in my inventory. That is because I didn't collect all 100 today, so I went back to my farm and collected a bunch of meat from a chest to make sure I would have enough when I dropped them off at Willie's. We are halfway through summer now, as we have made it to day 42. As I am watering my field of seeds, I can't help but notice there is a patch of land in the bottom right of the farm which is completely barren. This will have to be rectified soon. I plant pineapple and ancient fruit seeds along with taro tubers in the greenhouse, then I clean up the desert. Some absolute scallywag must have dug up all of the ground here, so I use my pickaxe to make it go back to normal. I do not know who dug up the ground here. That is a mystery. I exchange a lot of Omni Geodes for artifact troves, and I ask Clint to crack them all open. I make a few donations to the museum, and I am very happy to announce that this time I actually remembered to bring the final dwarf scroll with me. Also, here is a progress update on the museum collection. I have but 3 items left to donate. 2 of them can be found by digging up the ground. The third one can be obtained during winter. We will receive the magnifying glass during that season, which will allow us to collect and read secret notes. One of these notes reveals the location of the third artifact. I head to the mines where I don't introduce myself to the dwarf because I forgot to collect the dwarvish translation guide from the museum. I'll be honest, at this point I have 1 brain cell left and it is just playing a video of Subway Surfers on a loop. Nevertheless, I collect the translation guide, then I finally actually introduce myself to the dwarf. I purchase a crafting recipe from him and I give him the first of many gifts. The dwarf loves gems, so amethyst, emeralds, aquamarine, those kind of things. This will make getting him to maximum hearts pretty easy, I reckon. William is having a bit of fun at the beach. He has taken the bug meat I gave him and is using it for fishing purposes. He gives us the crafting recipe for the quality bobber. Thank you so much, you are a star, William. I use a rain totem as soon as I step foot on the island of Ginger. I head into the cave on our farm where I talk to the frog inside. I show him the melon, wheat and garlic I grew, which earns us 15 golden walnuts. I take back what I said about the goblin henchman being the best character in the game. The goblin henchman did not give us 15 golden walnuts, so the frog has officially taken his place. I harvest the crops here, which rewards us with more golden walnuts. You can get a total of 5 by doing this, and truth be told, I was not keeping count of how many I harvested here, so I don't know how many I got. I give the pirate's locket to Birdie, who rewards us with more walnuts and the crafting recipe for fairy dust. I am very curious as to how many walnuts I have obtained at this point, so I check and I have collected 80 of them. I am very pleasantly surprised, I must say. I was expecting to see a total of 40, maybe 50 at the most. This has rejuvenated my spirits. I am now more motivated than ever to complete this challenge. I obtain a golden coconut by digging up the ground at the beach, then I unlocked the island resort. I go a step further and spend even more walnuts to unlock the island trader. I buy a crafting recipe and a banana tree sapling here. I find one of the 3 artifacts I need at the dig site, very nice, then I make a donation to the island field office. This field office should be very easy to complete thanks to the tractor. I return to the island trader where I purchase another crafting recipe, dig up a walnut, collect another by fishing, and earn another 3 by playing games of darts. I dig up another walnut, then I do some fishing. We can collect 5 by fishing, so I would like to get that out of the way as soon as I can. I catch a super cucumber followed by a super cucumber. I'm getting a bit of deja vu here. Thankfully, I secure a lionfish, then 1, 2, 3, 4 golden walnuts. Not bad. Not bad at all. The harvesting of some radishes on day 43 yields another walnut, and just like the previous 2 series I have done on this channel, the word walnut has now lost all meaning for me. I use a rain totem again, the reason why will be revealed shortly. And by shortly, I mean right now. I head to the north of the island where I find a bird that drops an amethyst. I bring it to the forest where I put it on a podium. When it's raining on Ginger Island, a bird will spawn in one of 4 locations: the north, south, east, or west of the island. Each bird will drop a gem, and each gem must be placed on the corresponding podium. So, because the bird spawned in the north today, we put the amethyst on the top podium. Collecting all 4 gems will give us 5 walnuts. I donate a mummified frog to the field office, earning 2 more golden walnuts. Despite all that has happened, today is not a good day. You see, the 2 special orders this week are useless to me. Completing Willie's order won't give us a crafting recipe, and I already got the recipe from Demetrius. With a heart full of sadness, I ask Clint to crack open a golden coconut. I really wanted to get the fossilized skull because I need it for the field office, but I received a banana tree sapling instead. I do replenish some happiness, however, as I water my starfruit seeds. I decide to work on the fishing collection for a while. I am not going to acknowledge the first fish I caught. I do catch a red mullet though, and I buy some coffees in the saloon. I also buy some salads, pizzas, and spaghetti, which I can and have been using as gifts for the villagers. The fishing expedition continues as I catch a pike. Then I realize all of the fish I need stop appearing after 7 PM, so that was pretty heartbreaking. I had pretty bad luck today. I'm gonna go watch Shaun of the Dead to cheer myself up. Summer seeds have been planted on day 44. That is very important information and will absolutely change the trajectory of this playthrough, so I wanted to mention that. I return to the river where I catch a rainbow trout, then I head to the beach where an octopus, a tilapia, a pufferfish, and a tuna are added to our collection. As always, I start my Ginger Island experience with a rain totem. A bird in the forest, aka the east side of the island, drops a ruby which I place on the corresponding podium. I trade mussels for a mango tree sapling and plant it beside my banana tree sapling. With this, I have pretty much guaranteed that I will complete the shipping collection before the year ends. Normally, the final 4 items I need are a mango, a banana, a radioactive ore, and a radioactive bar. Here's hoping I get access to radioactive ore before the end of winter. We now have a grand total of 93 golden walnuts. I was very happy about this, so I celebrate by going to sleep. The 4th and final rain totem has been used on day 45. The final rain totem for now, I should say. I will be using 1 more on this island at some point. I will be sure to point out when that moment is, but what I can say is that it will probably occur during fall. The 3rd bird drops an emerald for us, which is promptly placed on the podium. There has been a lot of alliteration in this playthrough, which I kinda regret because I've had to record so many lines multiple times. And that's because what I was saying was basically a tongue twister. I struggled so much reading this script. Like that line right there, promptly placed. It took me like 7 attempts to say it properly, and I don't even think I said it right there properly. I like to complain about small things. Anyway, I catch a red snapper at the beach. Lovely, I am glad that one has been taken care of. Red snappers only appear when it is raining, so I may have forgotten about that one if I hadn't caught it today. I make a donation to the museum, then I travel to the desert where I catch a sandfish and a scorpion carp. I plant some coffee beans in the greenhouse. I would eventually like to be able to make hundreds of coffee instead of spending money in the saloon. My recent victories in the field of fishing have inspired me to return to an area that previously defeated me: the mines. I catch the stonefish pretty much straight away, which motivates me even further. So I head to floor 60 where I catch an ice pip. I cannot believe how well this is going. I'm going to park the fishing here for today though. I do not want to push my luck and try to catch the lava eel. I do have sensational news though. I have finally reached level 10 in fishing. Day 46 starts in a very productive manner. I have decided to make a keg, a preserves jar, a mayonnaise machine, my voice is going, and a cheese press. I place chests beside these machines and fill them with all the items needed to make 1 each of wine, juice, jam, pickles, pale ale, cheese, and mayonnaise. This was done for shipping collection purposes. I head to the river in the forest because I need to catch a dorado. This takes a bit of time, but the fish finally shows up and I catch it. 1 more added to the collection. I use my tractor to dig up the ground on the farm so I can try to get a snake vertebrae. I have no luck with this today, but rest assured I will obtain 2 snake vertebrae. The final bird has appeared. It drops an aquamarine. It is time now for me to take on my mortal enemy, the Simon Says game. It takes me around 4 minutes, but I channel my inner Cody Rhodes and I finish the story. That's not actually the best comparison now that I think about it, considering he hasn't actually finished his story. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Cody Rhodes is a wrestler, and for months he was saying that beating Roman Reigns, the current champion, was something he had to do. So he wins the Royal Rumble, faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and loses. So he didn't finish the story, but hopefully he can do it at next year's WrestleMania. I mean, if I'm capable of finishing my story, I have faith that he, or indeed anybody else, can finish their story. I head to the area with the podiums, where for some reason I completely forgot that I picked up the amethyst earlier. I do not know how to explain this, but I was convinced I did not see a bird today. Let us move on to tomorrow so we can see what I did to overcome this self-imposed roadblock I have placed in front of me. Day 47 begins with some fishing at the mountain lake where I catch a sturgeon. This can be a tricky one, so I definitely got lucky here with how easy it was to catch. Over on Ginger Island, I perform what I believed was a big brain move at the time. The final 2 possible gems that could be placed on the podium are a topaz and an aquamarine. There we go. I collected both of these from a chest and placed the aquamarine on the final podium, earning 5 walnuts. I now realize this was completely unnecessary as I saw the bird drop the blue gem and I picked it up, so I didn't actually have to guess whether it was the blue gem or a topaz. You remember how I said my one brain cell just plays videos of Subway Surfers on a loop? Well, that has been upgraded, or maybe downgraded depending on the way you see it. There is now audio playing in my brain, and that audio is somebody reading a story from Reddit. Something fantastic happened though that made me feel a lot better about that whole kerfuffle. I have collected over 100 walnuts and unlocked Mr. Key's walnut room. I can now accept special orders from Mr. Key, earn key gems, and use them to purchase things in this room. The first of what I assume will be many orders requires us to bring 100 each of different coloured items to Mr. Key. This is always a fun one for me, honestly. It's one of my favourite special orders for sure. In terms of perfection, I am at 25%. I was slightly disappointed by this, but then I realised summer isn't even over. I think we're doing pretty well when you take that into consideration. But again, I am using the tractor and I started with the best tools, so in no way is this me saying that I'm a great Stardew Valley player or anything like that. What I will say is that this is the most fun I've had with a playthrough in a long time. And I'm including the playthrough with the loot boxes in that. That one was fun, don't get me wrong, but this one is just on a whole nother level of satisfying. In other news, I have quickly grown to love the dig site area. Mainly because it is just another excuse for me to dig up large amounts of dirt. I donate an item to the field office, then I return to Pelican Town where I purchase 2 lead bobbers and 2 trap bobbers. I give a strawberry to Demetrius for his birthday, then I hit the floor 100 of the mines. Long story short, I was defeated by the lava eel once again. Here is a look at the fishing collection to begin day 48. I believe I have caught every fish that is exclusive to summer at this point. In terms of the fish I still need to catch and can catch right now, we have the lava eel of course. I am quite frankly terrified of my next encounter with that one. There are 2 fish on Ginger Island which I'm sure I will get around to at some point. The void salmon can be caught in the witch's swamp, the mutant carp can be caught in the sewer, and I can buy magic bait in Mr. Key's walnut room and use it to catch the legend. I think that covers all of them. Actually, there are fish that are exclusive to fall and winter that can be caught on Ginger Island right now, but I'm too lazy to get them, so. Phenomenal news now is all of the starfruit seeds I planted have grown. I am running out of ways to describe my happiness in a convoluted way, so what I will say is that the vibes are very good right now. We are about to make so much money from this, I cannot wait to go to the store owned by the bootleg version of Matthew McConaughey. Actually, that's an insult to Matthew. I very much enjoyed the role he played in a movie called The Gentleman, so I take that one back. I'm talking about Pierre, alright? I'll say his name just this one time. Anyway, I make more summer seeds, which I plant. Pamela catches me going through a trash can, that was unfortunate, and I sell all of my starfruit. I now have over 2 million gold at my disposal. As a retired businessman and a freelance philanthropist, I know that the smartest thing to do with this money is to invest it. So I do into 3 full stacks of Deluxe Speed Grow and 4 stacks of Starfruit seeds. As I plant these seeds, I am already incredibly excited at the thought of harvesting them all in the future. I plant some more in the greenhouse and harvest some ancient fruit and taro roots while I'm at it. I do the same thing over on Ginger Island as I fill the entire farm with even more starfruit seeds. Day 49 begins in a rather disappointing way as none of the muscle nodes I break give us a golden walnut. Not to worry though, as I accidentally dug up a walnut to make up for it. I gallivant around the beach on my tractor before harvesting some forage that has grown on the farm. I make sure to replace the forage with more seeds, sell some iridium bars to Clint as our bank account was in shambles, then I watch a cutscene with Sebastian. He offers to take us on a motorcycle ride some night. No thank you. I feel like I'm the first person in the history of Stardew Valley to actually say no to that. At the beginning of this year I would have said yes, but I am a completely different person now. I ask Robin to build a shed for us and buy 4 mini fridges along with a workbench, a calendar and a telephone. I deliver some items to Mr. Key, completing his special order and earning 35 key gems. I make the executive decision to not purchase anything with my gems. It costs 140 gems to buy every crafting recipe that is being sold here, so I'm going to save my gems until I can get all of them. After that, I'm going to aim for the key to the town and Pierre's missing stock list. I just said his name by accident. And of course I will buy some magic bait at some point so I can catch the legend. I spent some time going through the volcano dungeon. Of course it is nice getting items like a dragon tooth and cinder shards, but the priority here was making it to level 5. I buy a crafting and a cooking recipe from the dwarf here, then I keep pushing forward. I might as well. I'm glad I did because I get a golden walnut near the end. I do some magic forging stuff with my galaxy sword and an emerald to give it more speed. I hunt for coconuts on the morning of day 50. I still need to get the fossilized skull from a golden coconut and we can trade 10 coconuts for a golden coconut at the island trader. We can of course also get golden coconuts by shaking these trees. Our farm is looking splendiferous, I must say. I donate an item to the office, go fishing to get another artifact and donate that too. All I need is the fossilized skull and 2 snake vertebrae. At the special orders board, the vibes are in limbo, shall we say. Clint and Linus have decided to offer us special orders. We can only accept 1. The problem is, both of these orders have a crafting recipe as a reward. I need both of these recipes. This is a very difficult choice. It's like asking me to choose between water and cherry Pepsi. I want both of them. In the end, I choose Linus's order. I just hope Clint doesn't hold this against me and will give me that special order again in the future. Speaking of Clint, he cracks open the 2 golden coconuts and I don't get the fossilized skull. I feel like this is going to become a trend which I am not looking forward to at all. I place my fridges, calendar and telephone in the house and collect fruit from my trees in the greenhouse. I give an amethyst to the dwarf for his birthday. I feel like this just saved us. I don't know if I would have been able to max out his friendship by the end of the year if I didn't get the 3 bonus friendship hearts from doing this. I mean, we still could fail, let's be honest, but we have a higher chance of succeeding now. After purchasing a rare crow from the dwarf, I head to floor 100 of the mines. Thankfully, I'm just here to get trash for Linus' special order. I make some decent progress, but I don't get all the trash I need before the night is over. I finally visit the tree farm in the quarry area on day 51. A lot of oak resin has gathered in the chest here along with some maple syrup and pine tar. I'm not entirely sure if I mentioned this before, so I'll just say it now. The Automate mod allows you to use flooring and pathways to connect things to a chest. In this instance, I used wood pathways to connect all of the trees with tappers on them to the chest, which means all of the oak resin, pine tar and maple syrup automatically goes into the chest. While I was collecting trash for Linus's order, I unexpectedly hooked the lava eel. Even more unexpectedly, I was able to catch it. I'm still surprised that this happened, but I certainly will not complain. I am very glad that the lava eel has finally been added to the collection. I wanted to ask Robin to upgrade the house, but she isn't here, so I give prismatic shards to everybody in our family besides her. Was that spiteful of me to do? Absolutely, yeah, it was, and I'll do it again. My farmer does not take kindly to that kind of disrespect. Scandalous behaviour from Robin here. I throw the trash I collected into the dumpster for Linus, finishing his order. Also, here is a look at the mushroom cave Demetrius set up for us. I have done the same thing here as I did at the quarry, so all of the mushrooms automatically go into the chest. It is time now for us to obtain the casino membership card. I put a battery pack into a box in the tunnel beside the bus stop, and a rainbow shell goes into the box at the train tracks. I can't do the next step right now because of the time, so instead I go into the witch's swamp where I catch a catfish and a second catfish and another one. I see where this is going. Thankfully, after 5 catfish, I finally managed to secure a void salmon. I buy 2 void eggs from Krobus, and as has become tradition, I pass out without catching the mutant carp. I am greeted by the sight of some lovely forage on day 52. What a beautiful start to the day. I toss a void egg into the mayo machine, toss another egg and jam into the shipping bin, and read a letter from Linus. He has sent us the crafting recipe for fiber seeds. This is a bittersweet moment. I'm glad we got this recipe, but it's also a reminder of Clint's special order that I couldn't do. I give William a catfish for his birthday, then I watch a cutscene involving the proprietor of the local fishing shop himself. Crabs have invaded the shop, but thankfully Gus shows up and helps Willie get rid of them. I always get so happy when I watch this cutscene because it means crab cakes will be sold in the saloon for the rest of the week. It's worth buying at least a few of them when this happens. It is time now to get back to our mission of obtaining the casino membership card. I put 10 beets in Luce's fridge and put a solar essence into the mouth of the dragon skeleton in the desert. I find the casino card hidden just outside our house. I ask Robin to upgrade the shed. I will ask her to upgrade our house another time. I enter the Adventurers Guild and take a look at the monster eradication goals. I have a bit of work to do with quite a few of them, which isn't too surprising considering I focused exclusively on getting through the mines as fast as I could. And it has been pretty much the same with the Skull Caverns. At some point during fall or winter, I will dedicate a few days to doing all of these. We can't use the boat to get to Ginger Island as the shop is closed, so I make a warp totem and use it to teleport to the island. I harvest a few taro roots while watering my starfruit seeds, shake the trees to get some coconuts, and enter the walnut room. Some fantastic news now as the Danger in the Deep special order is available. The mines have been given a makeover for lack of a better term. If we reach the bottom, we will receive 50 key gems, which is delightful. We can also find radioactive ore in this new mine system, which we of course need for the shipping collection. I exchange my coconuts for 2 golden walnuts, and then I make a deeply upsetting discovery. I never introduce myself to Leo. This is the first time I'm watching the cutscene where we actually become his friend. This isn't just bad, this is very bad. I don't know when his birthday is. I hope it hasn't happened yet, because if it has, I could be in a lot of trouble when it comes to maxing out his friendship. I had a feeling I would forget something important during this playthrough, so in a way I'm not really surprised this happened, but it still sucks. But as always, we shall push forward. These things happen, you know, that's life, it is what it is, what can you do? In fact, no, let's go a step further. I'm going to use this as motivation to work even harder for the rest of this playthrough. A conglomerate of summer forage has appeared on day 53. I head to Clint's where I crack open 3 golden coconuts and I don't receive the fossilized skull. Wah. I'm not going to give up yet though. After collecting some coconuts from a chest, I return to town, then I make my way to the boat so I can reach Ginger Island. The entire time, all I was thinking to myself was, I'm very hungry. I collect more coconuts and buy a single golden coconut. I give Leo a duck feather, there can be no dilly-dallying with the process of increasing his friendship, and crack open the golden coconut. I get the fossilized skull, nah just kidding, no I don't. I head to the mines to get started on Mr. Key's special order. I was having fun, a lot of fun, dare I even say an infinite amount of fun, until I reached floor 30. Floors 30 to 40 are dark. It is very difficult to see and I am straight up not having a good time. Nevertheless, I persevere and make it through this difficult time. Is what I wish I could say. The dark floors continue even after floor 40. I am suffering. I'm not actually suffering, I'm just being dramatic. I pass out on floor 52. I finally decide to make some kegs on day 54. I have made 66, and while I do have everything I need to make 51 more, I'm trying to decide if I want to sacrifice that much wood right now. While I am placing these kegs in the shed, I make up my mind that I absolutely want to make more. It simply does not feel right having this much empty space in this shed. I craft the aforementioned 51 kegs and add them to the shed. This feels so much better. I do want to fill it up entirely though, so I will get to work on that pretty soon. Gus is on Ginger Island, so I buy the tropical curry cooking recipe from him. I give Leo a duck feather and it turns out today is his birthday. Alright. Cards on the table here, full transparency. I got really lucky. I was really nervous about Leo's friendship, but this may have saved it. I said the same thing about the dwarf. We've gotten very lucky twice now. That does not bode well for the future. We may have used all of our luck. But anyway, I head to the island trader with what I believe is the last of my coconut reserves and get one golden coconut. I am too late to go into Clint's shop, so I return to the mines instead. I get some radioactive ore, which I am very happy about. By the end of the night, I will definitely have enough to make a radioactive bar, as well as some extra ore for future crafting recipes. I make it down to floor 84 before I pass out. Not bad, we're basically 2/3 of the way there. It's straight back to the mines on day 55. There's not much to say about this one other than it was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the look of this mine system. It is very aesthetically pleasing in my humble opinion. I make it down to floor 120 at around 2 PM, securing my 50 key gems. I also obtained an extra 3 gems during the last 3 days from monsters dropping them in the mines. I head into Clint's with my golden coconut and I receive pineapple seeds. I might cry. To cheer myself up, I buy some new animals for the barn. Say hello to Hi, Hello, Bye, Pig, Piggy, and Fernando the pigs. I spend 5 walnuts to unlock the mailbox beside the house on Ginger Island, then I spend a further 20 walnuts to unlock the warp tower that will take us back to the farm in Pelican Town. I get a golden coconut by shaking a tree. Ordinarily I would be very happy about this, but these golden coconuts have brought me nothing but misery and disappointment so far. I head to the saloon at the end of the day. This is one of the ways I have been consistently improving my friendships. I go in here when I can and give gifts to everybody. It works like a charm. I buy 200 crab cakes. I said earlier it's worth picking up some of these when they go on sale, so of course I'm going to ensure that my actions reflect my words. Day 56. The final day of summer has arrived. I am already loving the speed boost I get from eating a crab cake and drinking a coffee simultaneously. I really do not want to go back to the normal walking speed after experiencing this. I harvest all of the starfruit that has grown, and this is without a doubt the single best moment in this entire playthrough so far. I feel more and more content with every starfruit I pick up. I collect some oak resin, pine tar and maple syrup from the quarry area, ask Robin to upgrade the house, and sell my gold and silver star quality starfruit. I'm keeping the normal starfruit for the kegs. I buy 50 of each cooking item, ask Clint to crack open a golden coconut. I do not want to talk about what I got from it, and visit Robin's once more. I decide to go on a bit of a spending spree here and buy 7 stacks of wood. I use the oak resin I collected to make 87 kegs, which I place in the keg shed. It is now officially full. I throw starfruit into a chest in front of the kegs, so they will automatically be placed into the kegs. I donate 2 artifacts to the museum. I thought I donated the skull earlier, so I'm glad I remembered to bring it with me here. But the good news is, all I have left to donate is the artifact I can find after reading a secret note in winter. Also, that skull isn't the same one I need for the field office on Ginger Island, unfortunately. It's a completely different one. I trade 10 iridium bars for the desert warp totem crafting recipe, collect some coconuts, and clear out some space at the bottom of the desert. I plant around 50 acorn seeds and sprinkle tree fertilizer on them. I need to expand my oak resin empire, so I will be placing tappers on these trees when they have grown. I do the smart thing, place wooden pathways beside the acorn seeds and connect the paths to a chest. This way I don't have to deal with the hassle of doing this when they're fully grown. I head to the beach where I enjoy the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies festival. And that is the end of summer. Just like spring, a lot of things happened during this season. A lot of that was good, some was bad, but that's okay. Not every day is going to be a winner. But overall, I feel like we had a very productive 28 days. I am cautiously optimistic when it comes to fall. Day 57, the first day of fall. My personal favourite season. I plant some ancient seeds, then I head to the special orders board where my day is ruined before it even begins. Unfortunately, I have been offered 2 orders that are of very little use to me. There are no crafting recipes attached to either of these 2 orders, so I'm just not going to bother with either of them. That is a deeply upsetting start to this season. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic right now, I will admit. This isn't actually a big deal, I just like to complain, it's fun. A visit to the general store is on the table now as I buy 50 of each fall seed along with 2 full stacks of pumpkin seeds. Just like the previous 2 seasons, I want to make sure I have access to all of the crops I can get during fall. I also get 3 stacks of deluxe speed grow while I'm here. I return to the farm where I begin planting every seed I bought. I make sure to sprinkle speed grow on them and water them as I do. I plant some pineapple seeds in the greenhouse, then I teleport to good old Ginger Island. I give a duck feather to Leo. I really do not want to forget about him for the rest of this playthrough before watering the starfruit seeds on our Ginger Island farm. I replant some seeds and crack open mussel nodes on the beach. I still need a couple of golden walnuts from these things. I am not looking forward to trying to get them. I dig up an artifact spot and I finally do not receive a snake vertebrae. I shake the trees here to obtain a golden coconut and a few normal coconuts. The danger in the deep special order has been offered to us in Mr. Key's walnut room. I'm gonna go ahead and accept this one. I will never turn down an opportunity to receive 50 key gems. Our starfruit is ready for harvest on day 58. What a wonderful start to the day. Of course, I replant the seeds, gotta keep the money train rolling. I give a gold star melon to Penny as a birthday present. This just earned us around 3 hearts of friendship with her. I make my way to Ginger Island where I take a few steps, turn around and immediately leave the island. I don't know what was going through my mind here. This was a certified lackadaisical moment for sure. It's off to the mines for the rest of the day. The last time I was in this version of the mines, I struggled quite a bit when I reached the dark floors. But this time I came prepared. I brought a glow ring with me. As I push further and further through the mines, I am reminded of the speech Captain Price gave during the final mission of Modern Warfare 2. Out of all our vast array of nightmares, this is the one we choose for ourselves. We go forward like a breath exhaled from the earth. With vigor in our hearts and one goal in sight. We will finish this special order. The glow ring proves to be invaluable as I make it down to floor 105 before the day ends. I learn how to make a pumpkin pie on day 59. I also harvest some bok choys and wheat. I drop by the quarry area to collect some goods from the chest there, and ask Robin to build a chest for us. It is back to the mines where I manage to reach floor 120 and complete Mr. Key's order at around midday. This earns us a delicious 50 gems, bringing us up to 139. We are 1 more gem away from being able to afford all of the crafting recipes in the walnut room. I'm also starting to get just a little bit nervous at this point when it comes to earning all of the gold I need to buy the golden clock and the 4 obelisks. I'm gonna have to make sure I keep harvesting and planting starfruit here on Ginger Island. I have a couple other ideas when it comes to making money, but still, that golden clock is definitely the biggest obstacle on the road to achieving perfection. I get a golden walnut from a mussel node, which is very nice, then I teleport back to Pelican Town. I am very glad I bought that little teleportation station there. It has proven to be very useful. It is off to the Skull Caverns for the rest of the day. I won't say anything about my escapades here this time. Instead, I will let you listen to the soothing sounds of the tractor breaking rocks. Our farm is looking beautiful on day 60. I am very excited about the future harvesting sessions that will take place here. I give Shane a prismatic shard. Normally I would be hesitant to hand out as many of these as I have, but at this point I have so many prismatic shards that I literally do not know what to do with them. I could sell them, but I'm gonna be nice. It is Christmas time after all. I continue my gift-giving adventure as I provide the residents of Pelican Town with items they love. This totally isn't me trying to make up for doing the JoJo route. Nope, not at all. I am absolutely proud of the choice I made. I'm lying. I head to the sunroom in the general store where I finally watch Caroline's 2-heart cutscene. Tomorrow morning we will receive the crafting recipe for tea saplings. I would like to formally apologize to Gamer Gar for taking so long to unlock tea saplings. I will not let it happen again. Now it is time to do something I have quite frankly been putting off for a while. It is time to spend a few days exclusively in the Skull Cavern. Like I said, I really need to earn a lot of gold this season, so I want to get a ton of iridium ores which I can turn into iridium bars. This also will not be the last time I do this. I can't say for certain, but I would be willing to bet I'm going to do this again during winter. So with all of that being said, days 61 through 67 are also spent in the Skull Caverinos. Of course, I also make time to give gifts and water my seeds during this period of time. Our pumpkin seeds are tantalizingly close to being fully grown on day 68. I will also be completely honest and say I did forget to feed my animals during the last couple of days, so they're not exactly too pleased with me right now. I did however harvest quite a few crops and flowers during that period of time too. I put everything I harvested into chests. You will notice the plentiful amount of pumpkins and starfruit. I also made sure to replant those seeds when I harvested those crops. I would be quite the silly goose if I did not do that. Dare I even say I would be such a silly goose that I would have to live in a pond. I asked Robin to upgrade the last shed I built and I got started on filling it with kegs. As well as this, I asked Robin to build another shed for us. This is, without a doubt, the busiest I have been during a playthrough this entire year. We have a cutscene featuring Penny, Vincent and Jazz now. Vincent tells us how he saw Sam lift Penny off the ground last night when they were climbing into a tree. I think I speak for all of us when I say I wish Penny and Sam the absolute best in their future love life. They will make a very nice couple. I do some fishing at the forest river where I catch a tiger trout. I catch a sea cucumber at the beach, become reacquainted with the trees on Ginger Island and crack open some mussel nodes which earns me another walnut. I catch a blue discus, a golden walnut and a stingray. I return to the beach and get an albacore, then I finish the night by catching the midnight carp. Except I don't finish the day that way. No, you see there is still one more thing I must do. I head to the area above Georgia Mart and I catch the anglerfish. Admittedly, this is the easiest legendary fish to catch, but still, this was a feel-good moment for me. I ask Robin to build a pond for us on day 69. I sell some grapes and a metric ton of pumpkins to the local shopkeeper, making sure to save a few gold star pumpkins for Krobus. I head into Georgia Mart and spend 500,000 gold to have the theatre built. We can start going there tomorrow. This is going to be very beneficial when it comes to improving certain friendships. I make 87 kegs which I place in the second keg shed. I head to Clint's where I ask him to crack open a golden coconut and I receive a mango tree sapling. That is exactly what I wanted. Thank you so much, Clint. I give a gold star pumpkin to Krobus. These will give a nice boost to her friendship with him and give one to Abigail too as it is her birthday. I have lost count of how many duck feathers I've given to Leo at this point. I get 3 golden coconuts from the island trader and watch a cutscene where the theatre is constructed. I make a tea sapling on day 70 which I plant in the greenhouse. This won't be ready until the 22nd day of winter, so I need to come back here on that day and toss some tea leaves into a keg so I can make green tea for the shipping collection. At this point I fully believe I am being sabotaged when it comes to the golden coconuts. There is no way I can be this unlucky. Maybe this is the game's way of getting back at me for playing on easy mode. I head to the theatre, except I don't really because I forgot that the Georgia Mart is still here. It's going to take quite a while for me to get used to the theatre being where the community centre once was. I give a ticket to Leo, buy 350 coffees in the saloon, accidentally go to Georgia Mart again and enter the theatre. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I like the colour blue, I also love the colour purple, but I do not like the vibe in this theatre. I have never seen the Georgia version of this theatre, so this just kind of feels wrong to me. After watching a movie with Leo, I return home and toss all of the ingredients I need for cooking recipes into the fridges in the kitchen. I am now almost fully prepared for the making of every dish in the future. Some ancient fruit are ready for harvest on day 71. This is always a wonderful start to any day in any series I have done. I take all of the iridium and copper bars in my smelting chest, buy 10 stacks of wood from Robin, ask her to add a cellar to the house and check the special orders board. Gunther has blessed us with a lovely request. He would like to receive 100 pieces of bone. The best part about this is we will receive a crafting recipe for completing it, so I of course accept his order. I buy 300 coal from Clint, attach tappers to the oak trees that have grown in the desert, and place a chest beside them. The oak resin empire has just expanded substantially. I give a sweet pea to Sandy for her birthday, sell my iridium bars to Clint, and give a rabbit's foot to Leo. Our banana tree has fully grown, so I can start collecting bananas from it. I have no luck with the muscle notes today, but I do have some absolutely amazing news, like unironically amazing news. What you are about to witness is the single greatest moment I have experienced playing Stardew Valley. I dug up an artifact spot and got a snake vertebrae. Immediately after this, I dug up another artifact spot and got the second snake vertebrae I need. I am so happy right now I could actually cry tears of joy. But let's not dilly-dally for too long. I accept the prismatic Grange order from Mr. Key, throw a sturgeon into the pond so I can collect its roe and turn it into caviar, and I make 37 preserve jars. I will be tossing all of my pumpkins into these. I will say 37 jars is nowhere near enough. I'm going to need a lot more coal. I plop these preserve jars down on the road, but rest assured I will be back to add more in the very near future. The Stardew Valley Fair takes place on day 72. I set up my Grange display and I must say I am content with how it looks. Mir Lewis seems to agree with me as he awards me first place in the Grange display competition and gives me 1000 star tokens. I could bet all 1000 of these tokens on green in the spin the wheel game, but quite frankly I do not trust that game at all. I truly do believe that I would lose all of my tokens if I did that. So instead, I spend a ludicrous amount of time playing the fishing game. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and psychologically exhausted, I trade my star tokens for a rare crow and a star drop. Then I leave the festival. That's literally all I wanted to do. I do not have the energy to talk to anyone here. Day 73 is a massive pumpkin harvest day. We have multiple giant pumpkins, which is always a welcome addition to the farm. The general store is closed on Wednesdays. Ah yes, the consequences of my actions. It would be open right now if I had rebuilt the community center, but I didn't, so you know. I head to a place that has become more and more reliable during the last few weeks, Georgia Mart. I buy 2 stacks of pumpkin seeds, toss my pumpkins into a chest to keep them safey wafy, and give a rabbit's foot to Robin as a thank you for making our house look absolutely sterling. I buy 2 full stacks of coal from Clint. That cost me 500,000 gold. I'm beginning to realize I make bad financial decisions. I use this coal to make 161 preserve jars, so I think this was worth it. Maybe it wasn't, but I'm going to tell myself it was so I can feel better about my spending habits. A lovely little cutscene plays next where Linus and Willie invite Leo to live in Pelican Town. That was a very nice thing for them to do. This is one of my personal favorite cutscenes. I collect 2 bananas and 2 mangoes from a tree and toss one of each into the shipping bin. I place the banana on a podium and receive 3 golden walnuts for doing so. I donate the 2 snake vertebrae to the field office and breathe a massive sigh of relief as I collect another 3 walnuts as a reward. The only item I have left to donate is the fossilized skull. I for one look forward to getting it from the 749th golden coconut I crack open in the future. I spend 10 walnuts to have the island fast travel system unlocked, then I return to Pelican Town where I cover the farm in pumpkin seeds. Also, one thing I want to mention is that some of the oak trees in the quarry grew later than the rest, which means I don't get all of the oak resin on the same day. That is not a big deal at all. I just like to complain about things that don't actually matter, like I said. I watch a movie with Leo in the theater. Out of all of the villagers, Leo and the dwarf are the ones I'm most worried about. The theater will really help us with Leo's friendship, but we can't invite the dwarf to the theater. So I'm pretty much relying on myself to give him 2 gifts every week and talk to him as often as I can. I'm putting a lot of faith in myself, but that is something I have grown to be okay with during this last year. And I hope that's something all of you can be okay with too. Having faith in yourselves, betting on yourself, believing in yourself. I mean, this time last year, I almost stopped uploading videos to YouTube. I had this idea in my mind that I would post the 100 Days of Stardew Valley on easy mode video and that would be it. Fast forward a year and I'm still here making silly videos that people actually seem to enjoy, and that's pretty cool in my opinion. I don't think I've ever talked about this in a video before, so I want to take this opportunity to say this whole experience has been a dream come true for me. Never in a million years did I ever think I would be in this position. This year has easily been the best year of my life, and I hope it was at least a good year for all of you too. I'm very grateful for everybody that has ever even watched any of my videos. It's still surreal, honestly, and slightly terrifying too, knowing that people watch the stuff I make. But it's also an amazing feeling at the same time. Anyway, I'm going to get back into character now, so to speak. I add just a teeny amount of preserve jars to the road and tunnel and fill them up with pumpkins. Just in case anybody's curious, the chest at the end of the tunnel contains the starting tools. I did not think I would come into this tunnel at any point during this playthrough, but I have, so I wanted to address that just in case anybody was wondering. Robin gives us 2 crafting recipes on day 74. We can now make the flute block and the drum block. Wonderful. I buy 10 stacks of wood from Robin. That was another 500,000 gold. Again, I really don't know why I spent all of this money on wood and coal when I could have just gone through the Skull Caverns and chopped down trees. I think my one brain cell has officially gone on vacation. I sell starfruit, pumpkins and starfruit wine to revitalize my bank account. I make 57 kegs, which I use to fill the remaining spaces in the second keg shed. I place the other 30 in the third shed. I warp to the desert where I spend the rest of the day in the Skull Caverns. On day 75, I ask the wizard to add the earth and ocean obelisks to the farm. 2 down, 2 to go. I buy a full stack of starfruit seeds, show my casino membership card to the bouncer, spend 100,000 gold and 10,000 key coins, and use them to buy the alien Rurkrow. I make 5 flute blocks, the reason why shall be revealed shortly. I harvest the starfruit that has grown on Ginger Island, planting more starfruit seeds as I do. Truth be told, it was at this point that I began to grow increasingly nervous about having to earn another 12 million gold for the 2 obelisks and the golden clock. But I'm going to remain calm and simply hope for the best. I use a rain totem. You remember back in summer when I said I would be using a rain totem one more time on this island? This is that one more time. I use the tractor to break rocks at the dig site. I collected around 20 or so bones when I was in the Skull Caverns, so this was enough to get us up to the 100 bone mark for Gunther's special order. I had some bones lying in a chest here, so I collected those to make sure I would have enough on me to give to Gunther. Then I did exactly that. Day 76. This season is flying by. I cannot believe we only have 8 more days left. I complete Mr. Key's prismatic range order, and finally buy every crafting recipe he has for sale. I also grab 120 magic bait. I use the 5 flute blocks I made to earn another 5 golden walnuts, and yeah, that's it for today. On the morning of day 77, I collect a walnut from a bush and another from a bush. I return home and enter the kitchen where I check how many dishes I can cook. Basically all I need is a squid, a void mayonnaise which is currently being made in a mayonnaise machine, and a winter root. Also, the pigs have not found any truffles, which is weird because they should have done so by now. I think it's because the area in front of the barn is covered with seeds, so I take away a few of them. I give Robin a birthday present. Looking back on this, I wish I had given her a plate of spaghettis instead. Spaghettis, for anybody who doesn't know, is of course spaghetti bolognese, which is a fantastic dish. I make my way to the volcano dungeon where I spend 5 golden walnuts to have a bridge constructed. After doing so, I drink a monster musk and make my way through the area. Based on the research I have done, aka a complete guess, I believe I only need 2 more walnuts in this area. One for breaking open the... I don't actually know what they're called, but I'll point it out when I see it. And the other can be found in a rare chest. I collect the first walnut from the thingy I was talking about, but I was not able to find a rare chest. I found normal chests, but not the one I actually needed. But I'm happy with getting just the 1 walnut today. I give a ticket to Leo on day 78, then I return to the volcano dungeon once again. I have much better luck today as I not only find a rare chest, but it contains the walnut I was looking for. Now all I have to do is donate a fossilized skull to the field office to earn 6 walnuts and obtain 1 more walnut from a mussel node on the beach. I'm tired of doing the Prismatic Range special order and I don't want to play Junimo Kart, so I'm not going to do either of these. Sorry, Mr. Key. I break quite a few muscle nodes, but I don't receive a walnut. We have plenty of time, it's okay. I give a mango to Leo, get 1 golden coconut from the island trader, and take a look at the special orders board. Clint has decided to do us a massive favour. As you may have guessed, we get a crafting recipe for completing this one, so I will gratefully accept it. Clint's shop is closed, so I can't crack open my golden coconuts. I'm gonna assume Clint is some sort of clairvoyant and knows that I won't get the fossilized skull from either of my coconuts today and wanted to save me from being disappointed. I am being way too nice to Clint, why am I doing that? I warp to the desert where I collect some oak resin, buy 10 coconuts from Sandy, she sells coconuts on Mondays, and collect more oak resin from the quarry. I make 85 kegs and try to go to the theatre, but I'm too late. I believe that means I have wasted a ticket by giving one to Leo this morning. And that is exactly why I bought 30 tickets as soon as the theatre was rebuilt. I actually planned ahead, I know, I'm surprised too. I place the kegs I made in the 3rd shed to finish off the day. I give another ticket to Leo on day 79 and I watch the same movie for a 3rd time, I believe, with him. This has got to be a really good movie if Leo does not mind watching it this many times. Sure enough, Clint was indeed trying to save us from disappointment yesterday as the golden coconuts yield nothing but pineapple seeds. With tears in my eyes, I grab yet another 2 golden coconuts from the island trader. I search the trees for more coconuts like my life depends on it, trade my walnuts for key gems, and buy 10 key seasoning and 20 more magic bait. I buy a couple of lead bobbers and trap bobbers and do a bit of fishing at the beach. I was hoping to catch the fish that appear in the submarine at the night market, but I did not get them. I think it was because I was standing in the wrong spot though, so I'll come back soon and try again. In the meantime, I finally obtain the fossilized skull. Alright, fall is now officially a success. Every other good thing that happened is exactly that. Good. This, however, is not just good. It is very good. I'm underselling it. This is phenomenal, breathtaking, sensational, and other adjectives of that nature. I use my key seasoning to make 2 gold star seafoam puddings. These give a +5 to our fishing skill, which means we are temporarily level 15. This is good because I need all the help I can get for what I'm about to do, and what I am about to do is catch every remaining fish. I begin with the glacier fish. I once considered this fish to be a massive thorn in my side. The mere idea of even attempting to catch it sent shivers down my spine. But now my spine is shivering for like a different reason. It's shivering because I'm laughing, and I'm laughing because of how easy this fish was to catch. And you know, I'm laughing pretty hard, and in fact I'm like doubled over and clutching my stomach. That is how hard I'm Look, what I'm trying to say here is this was a really easy fish to catch. Next up is the mutant carp. Once again, the seafoam pudding makes this pretty easy. The legend, my old rival. This one was also a walk in the park. If you're struggling with this fish, or any fish really, make a gold star seafoam pudding if you can. The green bar takes up almost half of the meter. It gets a lot easier. I swap my magic bait out for normal bait now as I want to catch a walleye, which I do. I equip my magic bait again and use it to catch a squid at the beach, followed by a blobfish. The blobfish is one of the 3 fish that can be caught in the submarine. This has really opened up the door for us to complete the fishing collection before the end of fall. I take the sturgeon out of the pond on day 80 and replace it with a tilapia. I catch a perch at the river in the forest along with a lingcod. Those are the only 2 fish I needed in this location. I drink a monster musk, then I spend the rest of the day in the mines. Clint wants us to defeat 50 bats, so that is exactly what I do. I managed to complete his order at 1:50 AM, literally seconds to spare. The farm has been painted a lovely shade of orange on day 81 as all of the pumpkin seeds I planted have grown. A pig has produced a truffle. I assume this is because a ton of space was freed up when I harvested the pumpkins. A second truffle appears, which is exactly what I was hoping for. I toss 1 truffle into an oil maker to make truffle oil and toss the other into the shipping bin. I make 115 preserve jars and I have seemingly managed to get myself trapped in my preserve jars. I sadly have to break a couple of them to free myself, a necessary sacrifice in my eyes. I remove the chest with the starter tools as I need all of the space I can get in this tunnel for the placement of preserve jars. I toss the starter tools into the chest beside the bee house, immortalizing them forever. Though I did not use them at all during this playthrough, I still see their value. I place my remaining jars at the bus stop. They are absolutely going to get destroyed by the bus in the future, I reckon, but that is a risk I am willing to take, although I will complain about it when it happens. I return to the beach where I catch a spookfish and a midnight squid. The fishing collection has officially been completed. That is such a weight off my shoulders, and we will get a star drop tomorrow too. You know what? I'm gonna say this in a way I rarely say it in my videos. I am simply happy. Sure enough, we receive the star drop for catching every fish on the morning of day 82. I collect 3 bananas from a tree. That's good, I will need 10 of these when I buy the island obelisk. I donate the fossilized skull, completing the field office collection. I receive 6 of the 7 remaining walnuts for doing so. I have also decided to set up a little crafting station in the cellar. Similar to what I did for the cooking recipes, I gather all of the items that will be needed for the crafting recipes and toss them into chests beside a workbench. The workbench allows you to craft items using ingredients stored in a chest beside it. I toss a tulip, jazz, poppy and summer spangle into a seed maker to get the seeds associated with each flower. I need these for a crafting recipe, and at this point I cannot be bothered getting enough key gems to buy the missing stock list, which would result in the general store selling all of these seeds in any season. I know this was a very lazy way to get these seeds, but hey, it worked. The only items I cannot craft right now are the desert warp totem and spring, summer and winter seeds. But I have already made all of those items except for the winter seeds, so I'm alright. I decide to cook every dish I can on day 83. I got a winter root while I was going through the mines and defeating bats, so I can cook everything I have unlocked up to this point. A quick look at the dishes section confirms this. If the color of a dish is faded, it means we haven't cooked it, and none of them are like that. I do the same thing for the crafting recipes, except for the winter seeds of course. I have to wait until winter to be able to craft those. Also, Clint literally just sent me the recipe for the bean hot pot, so I cooked that too. The Spirits E festival is being set up today, so there's not much I can do, so here's footage of me giving the dwarf a gift. I collect the goods from the quarry, do some foraging in the desert, and spend most of the day in the Skull Caverns. I'm running dangerously low on iridium bars and I need 30 for the 2 obelisks, so I stay here until I have obtained 150 iridium ore. I toss pickled pumpkins, starfruit wine and some truffles into the shipping bin, then I attend the Spirits E festival for about 20 seconds. I buy a rare crow and the jack-o'-lantern crafting recipe, then I leave and craft the jack-o'-lantern. I earn almost 2 million gold from the items I shipped. It is day 84, which means it is also the final day of fall. I begin by watching the Queen of Sauce TV show. I cook a fiddlehead risotto, collect 2 bananas and partake in a mini starfruit harvesting session. I give Leo a mango. I probably didn't have to mention me giving a gift to Leo as often as I have, but I have no excuse. That was just poor script writing on my part, if I'm being honest. It honestly makes me so upset watching the footage of me spending hundreds of thousands, if not millions of gold on wood while I write a script for this video. I wish I had not done that. I collect 2 rare crows from the museum, buy the desert obelisk, make 36 kegs and toss them into the shed. And I'm gonna call it here for fall. I feel like this was the most productive season so far, and I'm cautiously optimistic when it comes to winter and the overall goal of achieving perfection by the end of it. Will I be able to do it? There's only one way to find out. I will see you all in winter. Day 85. We are officially in the endgame portion now. I meet the shadow guy at the bus stop and track him down to the community center. I find him in a bush and he gives me the magnifying glass. Like I mentioned previously, this allows us to obtain secret notes. At the special orders board, I have received too much of a good thing. The wizard and Caroline are both offering special orders. Each of these gives a crafting recipe as a reward. These are 2 of the final 3 crafting recipes I need to unlock. I really wish I could accept both of these right now, but I have to make a choice. I go with Caroline's order. I hope the wizard will give us that one again before the end of winter. He gave us 3 opportunities to get prismatic jelly, so I have faith. I think we'll be okay. I head to the sewers and give a gold star pumpkin to Krobus, as has become somewhat of a bi-weekly tradition. I head to Leo's treehouse on Ginger Island, and I don't know how to describe what you are seeing right now. This has happened before in a previous playthrough, and I am still just as confused by it. I give a theater ticket to Leo along with a mango and harvest starfruit. I toss this starfruit into the keg sheds after grabbing some pineapple seeds I had in a chest. I make my way to the Wizard's Tower and buy the island obelisk, and with that, all 4 obelisks have been obtained. I do a bit of foraging / digging at the bus stop, collect oak resin from a chest, and buy 625 starfruit seeds. I plant my pineapple seeds along with the starfruit seeds. I break a few mussel nodes on the beach and receive a golden walnut from one. That was the final walnut I needed to get. I watch a movie with Leo. These theater trips have been an absolute lifesaver when it comes to improving my friendship with him. I participate in a bit of a scallywag activity at the beach in the form of digging up the ground to get some winter forage. I take some crystal fruit out of the smelting chest. Please ignore the state of it. I got lazy and tossed random items into it and make winter seeds. I plant these seeds along with some deluxe speed grow. I didn't have to do this at all. I really only needed to make the seeds, but I might as well plant them. I receive the crafting recipe for the deluxe scarecrow on the morning of day 86. Now the only 2 crafting recipes I need are the 2 crafting recipes from the special orders I mentioned yesterday. I decide to spend the rest of the day in the Skull Caverns working on the monster eradication goals. On day 87, I exchange 200 Void Essence for the Void Ghost Pendant at the Desert Trader. I give this to Krobus, which is basically another way of asking him to move in with us and be our roommate. I spend the rest of the day in the mines working on the monster eradication goals again. I end up getting the skeleton goal completed along with the Void Spirit goal. This inspired me to go all in on the monster eradication goals, so days 87 through 94 are spent completing almost all of these goals. On day 95, I collect some oak resin from the desert tree farm and dig up the final artifact I need for the museum. I donate it and receive a star drop. I would like to personally thank the Shadow Guy for giving us the magnifying glass, as that allowed me to obtain the final artifact I needed. I spend the rest of the day in the Volcano Dungeon. The final monster eradication goal I need to complete is the Magma Sprite goal. I was able to do this before the night is over. That is all of the monster goals taken care of. I make 103 kegs on day 96 and put them in the 3rd keg shed, filling it up to the brim. I harvest some pineapples in the greenhouse. Nice, this will help us with Caroline's special order, which I throw into the shipping bin. In terms of perfection, I have some very good news. For the most part, anyway. All I have to do is buy the golden clock, max out a few more friendships, get Krobus to 12.5 hearts to obtain the final star drop, cook 2 more dishes and craft 2 more items. I am slightly nervous when it comes to buying the golden clock and unlocking the crafting recipe associated with the wizard special order. I won't say any more about this whole perfection thing because I'm going to get very anxious if I do. The point is, there isn't much left for me to do, so I won't be able to say as much as I normally do about the remaining days. On day 97, I harvest all of the pineapples and starfruit that have grown. I toss the pineapples into the shipping bin and put the starfruit into the 3 keg sheds. It is now cleanup time. Literally everything I have is getting tossed into the shipping bin. The only exceptions to this are the items I need for the last 2 cooking and crafting recipes: starfruit, starfruit wine, pumpkins, and pickled pumpkins. Oh, and a few items that can be used as gifts for the villagers. Everything else from ancient fruit, forage items, coffee beans, and every crop I've grown during the previous 3 seasons, to fish, gems, artifacts, ores, and bars is getting shipped today. I was hoping to earn around 2 million gold from this massive sale, which is actually what I ended up getting. Caroline sends us the crafting recipe for the solar panel on day 98. I give a gift to the wizard, then gifts to Vincent and Kent, followed by a gift to Harvey, then Lewis, then Clint, then the dwarf. Yeah, this is basically my way of showing whose friendships I still have to work on. Luckily, all of them have like maybe 1 or 2 hearts left, except for Clint, who has 3. So I'll keep giving them gifts and we will be good. Oh, and Leo too. I need to max out his friendship. And Sebastian. But that's it. I give Krobus a pumpkin on day 99 and receive the final star drop in return. The special orders board is offering nothing but heartbreak, misery, and more heartbreak today, as I am offered 2 special orders I do not need. I'm going to accept Pierre's... Oh, I said his name. I'm going to accept his order, just because we have 14 days to do it, which means it's guaranteed to not show up next week. Considering next week is my final chance to receive the order from the wizard, I need all the help I can get with this one. The rest of the day, as well as days 100 through 105, are spent in the Skull Caverns. This is my insurance policy, we'll call it. If I don't get enough gold to afford the gold clock from selling starfruit wine and pickled pumpkins, then I'm gonna take all of the iridium bars I get from the Skull Cavern adventure period and sell those too. On day 106, I continue giving pumpkins to Krobus. I need to max out his friendship too, I can't forget about him. It is the moment of truth at the special orders board. Will we get a special order from the wizard? Yes. Yes, we actually do. We just got insanely lucky. I am so happy right now. I reset my farming skills, then I spent some time going through the icy floors in the mines. The ectoplasm we need to get for the wizard drops from a ghost, so I need to defeat them over and over again until one of them drops the item. After a few minutes, a ghost drops the ectoplasm. I deliver it to the wizard, completing his special order. I choose the perk that gives a 40% bonus when we sell artisan goods like the starfruit wine and pickled pumpkins. I receive the crafting recipe for the mini obelisk on day 107. I make that along with the solar panel, and that is the final 2 items crafted. Marvelous. I grab the starfruit wine from the 3 keg sheds along with the pickled pumpkins and sell them. This bumps us up to over 10 million gold. Not wasting any time, I immediately buy the golden clock. I harvest a tea leaf, toss it into a keg to make green tea, and spend the rest of the day sitting on a chair outside my house. I harvest another tea leaf on day 108, collect my green tea, and throw both of these items into the shipping bin. I spend the rest of the day sitting on a chair outside my house. On day 109, a notification pops up letting us know we have completed the shipping collection. I celebrate by sitting on a chair outside my house. Clint's birthday is on day 110, so I give him an amethyst, and I give the dwarf an amethyst too, maxing out both of their friendships. That means I have achieved max friendship with everybody. I celebrate by sitting on a chair outside my house. Day 111 is spent sitting on a chair outside my house. I learn how to make a shrimp cocktail on day 112, aka the final day of our journey. I cook it and unlock the achievement for making every dish. In the walnut room, the perfection tracker reveals we have reached 100% completion, aka perfection. On the final day of this playthrough, we have achieved the one goal we set for it. And with that, it is time to bid adieu to easy mode once again. As always, all of the music used in this video, as well as the mods used, can be found in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.